Hello everyone, how are we? Hope you're okay. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having fun, whatever you're doing there. Just move that. I've got it ready. It doesn't start for another 15 minutes, by the way, so we will watch that when it's when it starts. We'll get it on. We'll make sure it's ready before it actually starts. But hope you're all having a nice day. Thank you for coming in to watch this. Yeah, we're gonna watch the. I need to take my shoes off. I've got my shoes still on. Don't want them on. Yeah, we're gonna watch the Manufacturer GTWS series. Watch it on here because why not? I think it'll be better chat on here, so I'd rather watch it in here with you lot than watch it on there. So yeah, we're gonna do it on here and just chill out, have a nice, relaxing afternoon. Now I don't know if we're gonna be able to. I'm not too sure if we're gonna be able to do open lobbies after, because I have to finish about 8ish. Can you hear that music, or is that just mine? Oh, I know why. Wait there, listen to what I can hear. Wait there, because I've got the thing on. Wait there, listen. Yeah, we're not listening to that. What's going on there? It's the intro to the World Series thing. I can hear it in my back. How do I get rid of that? I want to mute that a minute. It's doing my tits in. All I can hear is some funky music going on. Oh shit, we don't want that one. Right, let me sort that. I'm just gonna mute it for a minute. Right, mute that. We don't need to listen to that right now, do I? I don't need to listen to that. Right. Let's use some tickets up while we wait. Anyway, I think I've got a ticket to use. Have I? Oh no. Oh yeah, I have. Let's get these tickets used up while we're waiting. Let's do this. I've got an engine ticket. The excitement of an engine ticket. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to do lobbies though, chat. Does anyone have an idea? Is this one race or is it multiple races? Does anyone know if it's a single race for this this thing? I don't know if it's a single race or multiple races, because it's the finals. I don't know if they're going to have a group 4 race as well. No idea. I would hope it's a few races, like maybe like 2 races and then a final race, but that might take us through to a point where we can't do any lobby racing, because I've got to pick up the missus tonight, because I don't want to walking home up, getting the bus and walking back at like gone 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday. Too many knobheads around, so I'll be picking her up. So we'll see how it goes. We might be able to get a little bit of session in depending on when it finishes, but if it finishes at like 7:30, it's not really worth it. Do they do driver swaps? I don't know. I have no idea. I think they do. I think they do. I don't know. I don't know how it's going down for this. I don't know the structure. Someone in the chat might know the structure for this. Have I got any snacks? I thought I had snacks up here. I need snacks. And we need snacks while we watch this, don't we? Well, you probably don't want to hear me eating, actually, so that's probably not a good idea. No one wants to listen to someone munching on food while you're trying to watch something. Yeah, I don't know if it's multiple races. 3 races. Oh, if it's 3 races, it's a high chance that it'll be 3 hours long, so we might not get any racing in. But do you know what? It's a relaxing stream for me, chat. In all fairness, I get to chill out and talk to you lot, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Actually, just chilling out here, watching other people drive, while we all just watch this race without having to deal with idiots in the chat, because we've got a lot of mods in here. The mods will get rid of any dickheads that come in. So if any idiots come in, mods, you know what to do. Deal with it. Get rid of them. The chat in here, we want to enjoy the racing. So, yeah, even I could deal with them, actually. I might be able to deal with them because I'm going to be chilling. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, by the way. I know we're not racing, but it still helps the channel if you smash that like button. So it's a big help to me if you take a few seconds to do that. And also, again, chat, thank you so much for everyone using that affiliate link, because it's helping me out so much. Had more people using it today. So thank you very much if you've decided to use my affiliate link, because it's such a massive help to the channel, me and my family. So huge thumbs up to all you people that are using that. I'm honestly blown away by you lot. You're amazing. And SDS, thank you for the 249. Pia Trek, bronze, SDS, gold. Yeah, Pia Trek's that bronze guy. It's the one that always misses out on it. Thank you so much for the support, SDS, you legend. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much for all your support on the channel, mate. Very, very grateful to you, legend. Abu Dhabi. Ah, yeah, I got fuming in that, Mike. I got really wound up in that. I mean, looking back on it, like, it's pretty obvious why I was pissed off with what went down in that race. But I mean, yeah, I still like Max Verstappen though. But I think it was a bit dodgy what actually happened in that. By the way, Pietrek, I've got the telly out the box. I haven't turned it on yet. I've got I built the TV stand last night. I've put the TV on the TV stand, but I haven't turned it on yet. I've got to move the other two. I'm going to do it after this stream. After this stream, when the missus is home, we're going to take the other TV upstairs. We're giving the other TV. We're going to just give to the oldest while it's on its way out. It should last. I don't know. It still works, but if it breaks, it'll probably break in a couple of months fully, and it won't be watchable. But she can get a couple of months out of it. It's better than the telly she's got in there. So, nah, Gigabyte upstairs, mate. I can't stream. Imagine I wouldn't even get. It would cover my whole. It's bigger than my desk. The TV downstairs, bigger than my desk. Right. Can you watch it? I wonder if you can watch it inside here. I haven't tried this actually. Sometimes you can watch the live finals inside the game, can't you? I don't think you can. I don't think you can now. I don't know though. It might. I was wondering if it'd let you actually. Will it? I don't know. I'd rather watch it inside the YouTube app because it'll probably run better. But if you can watch it inside the game, it might cover us if they decide to do anything. Actually, you know. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what the quality's like. Do you want me to do a comparison? I mean, let's just have a little test now. Actually, let's just see. It might not run so well on here. Give me that controller. I'm obviously going to make it bigger. I just want to see something. It'll probably be better from inside the YouTube app. Right, wait there. You can't... Why can you not make it bigger? Oh, you can. Go to settings. Oh, wait. You can't do more than... Oh, you can. One second, chat. Let me just sort this out. Doesn't look as good, that. I don't think. I think it's going to be better. Let me just check it. Oh, 1 second. Let me just scroll up here. Why is my mouse not working? Where's my mouse? My mouse? Oh, there you go. Mike, thank you. 37 months as a member. What a legend. Thank you so much for that. My last free super chat for a while. I'm cancelling all my memberships, so save for my wedding in March. Congratulations, Mike, mate. Good stuff. Don't blame you. 100% don't blame me for doing that, mate. Don't worry about doing so. You don't even have to warn me about it, mate. Just do it. And congratulations on getting married in March, mate. You legend. Chat, big thumbs up and congratulations to Mike, please, for the long-term support on the channel. And also, he's getting married. Enjoy it. Enjoy your last few months, mate. Only joking. Nah, hopefully we'll be getting married at some point. Me and the missus. We're still engaged, obviously. Hopefully in the future, once we've got moved a house, we can start concentrating on the wedding. At the moment, we're not in the position to do that yet, but once we've got our house and the bits that we need to get sorted for the house and stuff, then we'll maybe consider it in the future. But yeah, hopefully not too long. Is SDS... Wait, what? Is Dino, thank you for the $2, by the way, but is SDS is more legendary than Pietrek? Pietrek's a legendary troll. Pietrek is a legend of the troll world. However you want to look at it. Thank you so much for that, by the way, you legend. Right, chat, I'm going to compare this, right? Let's just see what's more... I'm going to do a comparison what's more up on the timing. So, 1 second. Let me go to live on this. Okay, this is further ahead, so we'll probably do it on this. This is... I know it's going to... Yeah, this is behind. So I'll do a little test now. That's at 4K on here now. So 4K. Let's go to 4K. I think we'll do it on this because this is going to be better quality, chat. I'll show you now. I'll show you why in a second. 1 minute. Oh no, now it's gone to being the same as... It's matching that now. Because I've gone to 4K. It's matching dead on. Let me go to live. Make sure it's... Right, let's compare the quality. 1 second, chat. 1 second. Right, I'm going to put... That's the wrong one, man. Right, that's display capture. Right, that's display capture now at 4K. So I can do it from the actual YouTube homepage. There's no volume on, obviously, because I've got it muted at the moment. But that's that one. Or we can do in-game, which is... Right, so this is in-game. This is the in-game at 1080p. Or... Right there. Why is... Weird. Why is that still on there? I don't get it. That shouldn't be on there. Oh, wait there. That's why. Wait there. No, it's all right. That's display capture. That's display capture now. And this is the in-game. What looks clearer, chat? I would think... YouTube's always behind. Because YouTube... I don't know why. YouTube is always behind. But a bit of warning to you. Don't be telling us what happens. Otherwise, you will be getting you'll be getting timed out and stuff. Just to warn anyone, don't do what Diego did last time and come into the stream and tell people what's going on. If there's a stream that's a little bit, you know, ahead or behind, it's probably because I'm watching on 4K. I bet you if we go lower, it'll be a bit more up to date on the timing. But we're gonna watch at 4K for a bit better quality. I don't think people mind being a few seconds behind, to be honest. I don't think that we should be fully up to. Yeah, I've clicked the live button, so we're fully up. Right there. When is the stream starting? I'll give you a clue formula. Who wants to tell him? You got to remember, we'll be a bit further behind because you've got my delay of the stream. So you're going to be a bit behind. Just so you know, that we're going to be a bit behind anyway because we're streaming a stream. So we're going to be a further 10 seconds behind. But I'd rather watch it in here with you lot than go in there and watch it 10 seconds further up. But yeah, we don't want people coming into this stream and telling us what's going to happen. We don't want that because it'll ruin it for us. Yeah, to be honest, Cherry, other streamers have been doing it. And I always said that I wouldn't do it because I got told they didn't want us doing it. So I respected their rules. Everyone else streamed it, and they didn't do anything about them people that didn't respect the rules. So why should I sit there? I'm going to do it and benefit myself as well. And I'd rather do it like this anyway. Watch it with you lot. For me, it's more fun to watch it with you lot than with some of the chat that goes on in them other streams. You're right, Damien. How are you, mate? How are you? You're on the toilet. Yeah, that's why I'd rather watch it here and better chat, less. You know, we got mods in here as well. That's the main thing for me. Some of the disrespectful comments you see in the live, the main one, is disgusting. And if any of them people come into this stream and do that, boom, they're gonna get kicked out. We're not having disrespectful. No disrespect to any of the participants in the race. So if anyone comes in here and disrespects any one of the drivers that are in this race with anything disrespectful, you know what I'm talking about. Mods, boom, time them out, ban them, whatever you think, you know, fair. But we're not having people being disrespectful. Not a chance. Yeah, we want, obviously, Conster. We're supporting McLaren. I want McLaren to do well. Yeah, exactly. You get all the, like, fours and stuff and like that. What's the audio like, chat, by the way? Let me know. Is it loud, quiet?
Hello and welcome to the Gran Turismo World Series World Finals, coming to you live from Monaco.
Quiet.
Now,
okay.
If you've only just joined us, you have this some spectacular racing, as yesterday we crowned our Nations Cup regional champions. And these guys weren't the only winners.
Oh, it was
yesterday.
okay.
We also
is it a bit
crowned
too
our
loud
Michelin
now, or
driver
is it
today,
okay?
which was Coque Lopez, who pulled off a spectacular, medium accidental move that won him the entire race, which is pretty cool. Now, today is all about the Manufacturers Cup, and if you're unclear as to how that sort of works, let's break down the comp format. All right, so we have got 12 teams of 3 drivers.
Okay, let's see the races.
There's one driver basically from each of the regions, which I think makes it quite interesting in terms of like team dynamics. Now they're going to have to have like a conversation about who's going to be the nominated driver with that pressure of that single lap qualifying, because that's going to, you know, determine the grid position for race 1, which is obviously hugely important. And of course, all 3 drivers have to race at some point. I mean, that goes without saying. Race 1, that's going to determine the grid position for the final race. And this is super important because obviously it's double points in the final race. So there's really everything to play for right up until the very last minute. Now, it's not going to be the winner of that final race who wins the whole thing. It's obviously the accrued points over the whole year. I don't know how it's going to go down, but we're sure as heck going to find out. I'm dead excited about today, and I know all of the drivers have been working so hard because they take such pride in this one. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to throw it over to Tom and Jimmy.
Thank you very much indeed, Julia. Welcome to Monaco. Welcome to the venue for the Manufacturers Cup Grand Finals here for the 2022 GT World Series. My name's Tom Brooks. Alongside me, Jimmy Broadbent, JB. I mean, it's been an amazing year in the Manufacturers Cup.
More volume.
And here is where we get to crown our champions.
Yeah, I always love the Manufacturers
Might be on here,
Series.
actually.
Proper teamwork required for this one, and a little bit of humility as well. Perhaps maybe if you're not as quick as your teammates.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
what about now?
Thanks very
Any
much.
better?
Let's have a look, shall we, at qualifying, which took place earlier on today. It was a single lap shootout for all of our drivers and manufacturers. You can see Honda setting the early pace, but look here at Team Porsche. They had Jose Serrano behind the wheel, and he managed to get to the top of the timesheets. I think he was pretty happy and pretty surprised by that, Jimmy.
Talking of surprises, check out Nico Romero's reaction to finishing second in qualifying. He could hardly believe it.
I can turn subtitles off, but some people like having subtitles on.
Looking very quick in the middle
I mean,
sector,
some people would prefer having it on. What would you prefer, on or off for subtitles, chat?
For Suzuki.
I very often have them on
looking
sometimes.
pretty handy. They could only manage to qualify second, though. Pretty
Okay,
happy
I'll turn
that
them
was
off. I know that some people will like. I always think of people that might be. Some people might not be able to hear though. You got to remember that. I always try and make sure that people that can't, if they can't hear, they can watch it.
Honda and Mazda, Lexus and BMW, Nissan and Team McLaren completing the
I'm just trying to think of everyone.
Strong grid. 36 drivers ready to take to the field for this one. It is going to be hugely exciting.
Okay.
And of course, it is a bit of a special weekend, a special year for Gran Turismo. It's the 25th anniversary. Can you believe it? So we're going to head on over to Yamauchi-san, the creator of Gran Turismo, for a few words before we get this underway.
はい、今年25周年をグランツーリスモを迎えたわけですけれども、それもこれも、グランツーリスモを支えてくださったユーザーの皆さん。
This is hilarious. Someone said go higher, someone said go lower.
さまざまな自動車メーカーをはじめとするパートナーの皆さん、それからメディアの皆さん、そしてグランツーリスモの日々のね、楽しさを常にキープしてくれているコミュニティの皆さんに改めて感謝をしたいと思います。本当にありがとうございます。
So we are celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. And it's really due to everyone who have supported Gran Turismo over the years, the users, the people of the automotive industry, all our partners, the media, and really people of the community who have continued to have fun playing Gran Turismo. And we are very thankful, and I'd like to show my appreciation to them.
あと、この25年間、ずっとグランツーリスモを作り続けてきてくれた、ポリフォニーの、チームの、皆さんにも本当に感謝の気持ちを伝えたいと思います。ありがとうございます。
And I'd like to also give my thanks to the Polyphony
Yeah.
Digital team who have
Don't forget to
continued
smash
to
that
work
like
on
button,
the
chat.
Gran Turismo series for the last 25 years. So thank you very much, everyone.
Well, Yamauchi-san, of course, it is 25 years since Gran Turismo began. Of course, it's 2 years, though, since we were last here in
Who am I
Monaco.
rooting for?
So what were
Corsair.
your thoughts on the first time you stepped into the venue here at Monaco after 2 years?
もうモナコから離れてもう2年間も経っちゃいましたけど、こうやってまたモナコでこうやってイベントが開催されて、会場に入った時、どのような感じが
No road Atlanta today.
浮かび上がりましたか？
はい、ここにいらっしゃる皆さんはコンペティターの皆さん、メディアの皆さんも含めて本当にみんなグランツーリスモのファミリーなので、なんかこう家に帰ってきたなっていう感じがしています。
Yeah, so everyone that's gathered here today, including all the competitors and everyone from the media, we're all like a big family. So it's sort of like coming home for me.
Well, Yamauchi-san, of course, it is 25
Nello, they have
years
studios
since, Gran
around the
Turismo
world,
began. Can
PD.
you just talk
They've
us
got
through
more than one
what the
studio.
journey has meant to you
Pretty sure
so
they've got a
far?
studio in. Have PD not got like 2 or 3 studios dotted around? I thought.
これまでの旅、山内さんにとってどういった意味を持つ旅でしたか？
ですね、この25年の旅というのは、そうだな、グランツーリスモの成長の歴史でもあるんですけれども、同時にグランツーリスモのファミリーをどんどん世界中に広げていく、そういう旅でした。
Yeah, so the journey of the last 25 years, of course, is a journey of the growth of Gran Turismo, but at the same time, it has been a journey where the family of Gran Turismo has expanded.
Well, Yamauchi-san, thank you very much indeed for those very kind words. We're, of course, supremely grateful for 25 years of Gran Turismo, not only to the staff here in the venue and for those who have made it happen, but also to you at
Echo on the
home
mics
as
doing
well.
my
We're giving
tits
you an
in.
opportunity to say thanks, really, for being a part of the journey in Gran Turismo by giving you some special campaign moments to enjoy in GT7.
If you have opened up
Tell you
GT7
what,
in the past
I
couple
know
of
what's
days,
causing
you will
this.
see that it has been updated for the World
1
Finals.
second, chat.
We're celebrating Gran Turismo's 25th anniversary in style. And if you enter the 25th anniversary races, you will be gifted a X 2019 in a stunning special livery. You can also get closer to the action by competing in the exact same races as our 2022 World Finals drivers. If you think you can predict who will be our 2022 World Champions, click on the bonus campaign for your chance to win credits.
Just ignore me a minute, chat.
And if you're watching our streams, then click on the viewers campaign within the next 24 hours for your chance to win by answering a question you can only know the answer to if you're watching.
Just gonna put that back to the main menu on my
See you in
PlayStation
GT7.
because.
Well, I think that's pretty exciting, don't you? Some great opportunities for everybody at home to enjoy GT7. But of course, we've got racing action to happen here this evening as well with the Manufacturers Cup. 36 drivers, 12 manufacturers. Let's meet them now, shall we? First up, let's go for Team McLaren. Their driver lineup is comprised of Greece's Konstantinos Konstantinou, Japan's Hayato Imazato, and the USA's Ethan Lim. Team BMW, a German manufacturer, but a very varied lineup. Jose Brea from Spain, Yuki Kadaka from Japan, and the USA's Randall Hayward. Lexus won the inaugural manufacturer's title back in 2018. Their driver lineup here today is comprised of Belgium's Quinten Hall, the USA's Donovan Parker, and Japan's Kanata Kawakami.
Who do you reckon's going to win, chat? Who's currently in the top 3 teams? Because they base the points off previous, don't they?
Nations Cup champion Valerio Gallo, Brazil's Hal Pessoa, and Matt McEwen from New Zealand.
I just don't think Honda have got the best team there, have they? I mean, they've got Gallo,
Team Porsche will start the first
overall,
race on pole position. Their driver lineup is comprised of Chile's Angel Estrada, Spain's Jose
I'm going to go and vote.
and
1
Japan's
second.
Takuma Sasaki.
I forgot to do that. I might get it right. Let me go and do, like, you can carry on watching. I'm going to go and vote before I forget.
Newcomers to the Manufacturers Cup in 2022, Genesis have got Japan's Yuito Sasaki, Nico Romero from Spain, and Dean Helt from the USA as their driver lineup. Volkswagen have got Thomas Labusele, Saya Suzuki, and Roberto Sternberg.
Toyota or Subaru or someone like that will probably take it. But I'm supporting Consta because obviously. Right, let me do this bonus campaign. Let's see.
Team Mazda will have Suko Nabatani, Giorgio Mangano, and Canada's Andrew Brooks at the helm. Mercedes AMG have got Lucas Benelli from Brazil, Baptiste Beauvoir from France, and Japan Shinsuke Sobi.
Who are we going to go with? Oh, well, does it let you? I don't think you can do it anymore.
Champions Subaru have got Kylian Drumont from France, Danny Solis from the USA, and
I think it's too late to put you back. I think it's too late to vote now. Arseholes.
And last but not least, we welcome Team Toyota from the Czech Republic, Nikita Moisov, from Japan, Ryota Kokeman, and from Brazil,
I'm not that arsed, to be honest.
Igor Fraga.
This looks like a reasonably good team, don't they? You've got Nick, who's absolutely on fire in Europe. Fraga. Yeah, I think Toyota have got the best team here, but personally, I would say Toyota have got a very good chance.
For the national anthem of our host nation here in Monaco.
I would have gone with Toyota, I think, for who I think will win, but... You're right, Dino. How are you, mate? So hungry, chap. I'm starving. Have I got time to get some snacks, do you reckon? What food can I eat that won't make noise? I don't want to sit here with the crunching. I've got crisps next to me, but I don't want to crunch. Glamo, welcome to the base tier. Thank you so much for joining, you legend. Chat, big thumbs up and legend emote there for Glamo, please. Thank you very much for that. Should have breakfast. It's 5 o'clock, but no, 4:15 here. What do you mean, where am I, Formula One? I'm sat in the bedroom at home. Ice cream, no. Really fancy ice cream.
Well, it is so wonderful to have so many people here. It is
Let's
time
go
though,
and
to
I'm
begin
gonna go and
Manufacturers
raid.
Cup
You lot
finals
watch,
here
enjoy. I'll be
in
back in a
Monaco for
second.
2022. Well, a very big hello from wherever you are joining us from in the world. Welcome to Monaco for the 2022 Manufacturers Cup Finals here. And we are ready to get racing action underway. We are, of course, live, not only in English, but in 7 different languages. We've got the German commentators. There is Mikkel and Florian. They're joined by Mikhail Azal, the 2019 champion. France have got Donald and Fabian. We've got Spain with Lucas.
Got myself a yogurt.
The ever-passionate
Yogurt
Italians with Emilio and Andrea. The Portuguese lineup of Duarte and Francisco. Then the Japanese contingents of Yamada-san and Nakajima-san. I mean, you couldn't ask for more, could you, really?
No, I mean, we could, but we don't. We spoil you guys at home. It's awesome to have the stream be so accessible across the world. Of course, English stream is best.
This was
Well, of course, we need to talk you through what has happened so far in the season to date in the Manufacturers Cup. So let's run you through the points that have been accrued over the course of the year so far. Team Toyota, Team Subaru, Jimmy, tied at the top on 10.
Yeah, going to make it very interesting for the race. It basically means whoever performs better here today is going to come out on top. And of course, Mercedes, AMG, Mazda, Nissan,
wondering why I couldn't hear anything.
Close, still with
Need
points
them
as well.
on, don't I?
Porsche, Honda, Lexus, BMW, and McLaren get to thoughts so far, but there are a lot of points up for grabs today.
Yeah,
Toyota.
We're very much
I'm going to say Toyota's going to win this. But
look like. Let's head down to Julia, though, because she's got some big news for us about Dior.
Yes, now you might remember that we announced in Salzburg the beautiful Christian Dior virtual capsule that you could get within game. Obviously the shoes, the suit, and the helmet as well. And Christian Dior thought it would be rather special, you know, for the World Finals to actually take some time and to create these beautiful pieces designed by Kim Jones into real life.
We're good, Renzo, mate. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well.
I want to talk you through a little bit about like some of the design aspects of the whole outfit, because honestly, they've spent so much time and like hundreds of hours creating this.
They spent hundreds of hours creating that, apparently.
You have the Christian Dior diamond here. You have obviously the number 47.
I'm going to let the little one knock that one up in about 10 minutes, I'm telling you.
The year that the Maison was founded and their first runway show as well. So it's huge meaning for the entire company. And then you see here the pattern, the Dior oblique, which you can see actually runs through all of the whole, everything really, from the shoes to the suit. To my favourite bit, I have to say, which is on the visor here of the helmet. You can see it's beautifully replicated and it looks pretty spectacular. They actually told me as well that the entire helmet is hand-painted. I don't know how they did that. That's kind of amazing, but it's absolutely beautiful and just stunning to kind of see it in real life. I'm not sure if I can take it home with me. Probably not, but I will ask because it's kind of cool. They're also going to be showing a video at YouTube.com.
Yeah, Mercedes as well.
About just
especially if there's Group 4 races. It all depends if there's Group 4 races, though, chap.
The show, so you can head on over to YouTube. But I think now we should start getting this first race underway. What do you think, Tom and Jimmy?
I think you're absolutely spot on there, Julia. Let's have a look, shall we, at the starting lineup for race 1. So we saw qualifying a few moments ago. Team Porsche starting on pole with Team Toyota, Team Genesis, then Volkswagen, AMG, Mercedes in P5, Subaru P6, Honda in 7th, then Mazda, Lexus, BMW, Nissan, and McLaren down in 12th place. And, well, we're keeping an eye on Toyota because, of course, they are the reigning champions, Jimmy, and this is the GR Supra Racing concept.
Yeah, current joint leaders as well. We've raced this car, of course, the other day in the TGT Cup. But it's great to see it here again. Just under 600 horsepower, of course, Group 3 style regulation. So lots of aero, lots of downforce there. Of course, FR drivetrain as well, meaning driven from the rear wheels. Awesome car to drive. And the circuit they're going to be on today is the Deep Forest Raceway, but reversed, because why not?
I love the creativity that Polyphony come up with for these events. We saw the Deep Forest Raceway back at round 3 of the World
I love
Series.
the creativity. We just use the same races every time. Same tracks. Trial Mountain, Deep Forest.
Tyres available. You can see there each tyre type must be used for a minimum of 6 laps over the 20-lap race duration. But with Time 6 tyre wear there, JB, I'm keen to see what the strategies are going to play out like.
Yeah, we've seen these new soft tyres be very difficult to get a handle on over the last couple of events, over the last couple of days. So these guys have been there for
I think the final race has weather in it, you know,
what to expect
random weather.
Well. So hopefully that information will be in
the final longer race, I think, might have dynamic weather on it. I think it's a Spa, apparently. I don't know.
We'll announce that a bit later on.
Absolutely. Of course, all three drivers must take part in this race from the different manufacturers. So they've now got their starting driver in the grid. Here's a look at what the expecting the strategy to be.
No.
Like. Start on the softs, you'll do 6 laps, 7 laps on the medium, 7 laps on the hards, and then you can see the different variations depending on where they start, Jimmy.
Yeah, reminder, of course, you have to use every tyre for a minimum of 6 laps. So a lot of the drivers thinking basically it's going to be 8 laps on the softs and the rest of the tyres are like lava. But also, just to inform you that when you do come into the pit lane to change tyres, you do have to change driver as well. That is a requirement. So matching up the tyre stints, the driver,
I don't think they're going to do 7. I don't think they're going to do that many laps on the hards. Who's put them? Who's done that?
1.6
No,
seconds slower. So
that's not going to happen.
Very keen to see what exactly is
Who
going
does
to
these
happen.
strategies?
Is in the air. We're ready to
They're not going to do half the race. They're not going to do
the Manufacturers Cup underway.
They're not going to do that many laps on the hard tyres. Surely not. Why would they do that?
So then the
They'll eke out the softs and mediums and then do less on the hards. Yeah, they'll probably do 875 or even 4 on the hard, I would think.
Row 2 with Genesis. Then we've got Volkswagen.
They need someone there who understands the game, you know. They really do. Because they always do these shite strategy things. They need to speak to the contestants. Surely they're not going to do... They have to do 6, is it? Oh, okay. Why? Oh, right, I thought it was 3. How come I thought they...
Champions lineup P9 with BMW down in 10th place on the
It's just
grid.
Amazon.
P11 is Team Nissan.
It's just Amazon. Yeah, okay, I thought it was 3 laps they had to do. They changed it, they 6 is it? Okay, well they'll only do 6 then, they won't do any more than that. No one's going to do 7 laps on the hard tyre.
No, it seems at the moment they're maybe saving that soft tyre for the middle or last stint. I think they might be a bit more useful at that point in the race, but a lot of the...
No one's starting on the softs to get clean air.
So we're used to seeing, just trying for a quick first stint there with towards the back of the field going for that hard tyre stint, getting out of the way nice and quickly before they go on to
So who's racing in this one? Let's see.
Cabela's now getting ready for what it's going to be, I'm
That
sure.
Josetti in the Porsche.
Well, Team Toyota have taken 2 Manufacturers Cup wins so far in 2022. The other 2 belong to Subaru. Will it be a Japanese squabble at the front, or will we see Porsche, who of course start this race on pole position, prevailing? We're about to find out over the course of this 20-lap race at Deep Forest Raceway in reverse. 3 drivers to take to the race for the different manufacturers. 36 in total, 12 manufacturers, and here we are ready to get race 1 of the Manufacturers Cup World Finals underway here in Monaco. It's Team Porsche that lead the field down towards the
that
first
Porsche is going to get eaten by that Toyota on the straight.
Team Genesis, of course, we're running this circuit in reverse, so the first part of the circuit becomes quite an open, flowing element, really, and this is going to be really interesting to see how it works out before we head into the first big braking zone of the hairpin. And you can see there Volkswagen already coming under pressure from Mercedes AMG. They're going for the defensive, and actually on the
that Porsche is going to get eaten on the straight here.
Getting a bit rough and tumble in the mid part of the first couple of corners, but we ride on board here with Mercedes. They started 5th, they still sit in 5th.
Yeah, good start from McLaren there, from the back of the field up to P9.
Look at the Toyota chat, look at the Delta.
The straight line down here.
Look at the Delta, guys. Surely he's going to get him. Oh no, he didn't get close enough.
BMW goes lunging up the inside
of
the Genesis, and they slow down on the apex contact there between the Mercedes and Volkswagen. And Genesis, from what I can see, have had an incident or been shuffled down massively, because they're now showing down as 8th place.
My, what was that? That was messy, so messy.
Contact there has not helped them out at all. Here is Mercedes, Lucas Benelli starting this race for the German manufacturer, right up the gearbox of the Volkswagen team then, as they come through the mid part of this circuit, very much one at a time as you go through here. You can see the incident under investigation on that first lap between Mercedes and Genesis.
Who was it? Who's driving for Mercedes? That was really bad.
You can see Lucas Benelli really trying to close up onto the back of the Volkswagen. Thomas Laboutelet, the Frenchman, behind the wheel, but also it's allowing Subaru to close up as well. Takuma Miyazono fancies a slice of the pie here too.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff under investigation at the moment, so we'll get onto that as soon as we know what the results are. Mercedes looking to the outside here of BMW. See that Subaru in a straight line is absolutely nowhere, but under braking in the corners, it can close right up. Loads of downforce on that thing. Going to one of the big braking zones now. Good place to lunge here. You're feeling like a bit of a move, but not quite close enough. Is Mercedes at the moment?
No, I don't think he'll run away from the Toyota. That Toyota on the straight is going to, like, look at it on the straight now. What's the delta with the Toyota to the Porsche? That Toyota just needs to get close for the straight, and it might be able to get him.
As it stands, sitting there in 9th position on the medium common of tyres. Here we go, side by side with Mercedes versus Volkswagen. Then so it's
it looks to me like whoever's in the Toyota is deliberately not fighting because they want to pull away. They know they're battling, so I think the Toyota's racing smart there, you know. I don't think they're fighting the Porsche too much. I think they're playing it sensible, probably looking after fuel and tyres.
Here we are, VW inside. Genesis gets punted big time by Mercedes there, and then sideways across the circuit. That is...
Yeah, I don't think repeat what he said there.
I think that's why it was in slow-mo. I think so, but yeah, Nicky Romero, understandably not happy about that. I mean, that's a slam dunk for me. That was just a smash and run.
I take it, you know what he said then, chat. I got that one.
At the moment, so we'll wait for that say-so.
Nico's been watching my streams.
At the moment, Porsche's still leading. We're on board now with Subaru. We'll get an idea of the power difference between the two cars. Look at
brilliant.
this. VW in front of us. We're in the top, and we're being gapped at the moment by the VW in front. We'll watch us into the braking zone. To come and be a zone out of the wheel. We know how capable of a driver he is. So let's watch him into this braking zone. For the left-hander, heavy on the brakes, and just like that, he's right back on the back of them once again. So power isn't everything here.
Yeah, that's a penalty. That's got to be I would say that deserves minimum. It's got to be minimum 5, hasn't it? 2 seconds for that.
Especially given it so early because the field is so close together.
Yeah, I would actually give more than that. I think it was a proper big hit that, but yeah, 2-second penalty definitely.
These stewards, I swear, chat. What are they doing? 2 seconds for that.
Which actually is they have to go around a whole other lap before they can get those on the back straight here. So here's the replay from the perspective, of Mercedes. VW up the inside, and then just I don't know, it doesn't acknowledge the existence of the Genesis, just drives into it like it isn't there. It's such a weird one.
Yeah, Gap was always going to disappear, wasn't it? And whether he just outbrakes himself and decided to use him as a bit of a boat anchor, either way, it has really compromised the driver of the Mercedes, which is Lucas Nelly, and compromised the rest of the team.
2 seconds for that. These stewards.
Behind Volkswagen, they will fall behind Subaru, and it's going to put them
5 seconds that needed to be. 5 seconds.
Who are in 6th place, and I have to say, Honda doing a really good job in the early stages of this one here, Jimmy.
The problem with that 2 seconds penalty is he's still going to be ahead of the Genesis. So
yeah, I didn't actually see what that one was for. We might get a replay of that at some point, but still a 2-second penalty. To be fair to them, it's not going well anyway. They're off the back by about 5 or about a second. So meanwhile, Genesis trying to make their way back through the field here, through Honda and through Nissan.
This isn't the penalty system. This is an individual steward that thinks that was worth 2 seconds. They can choose any penalty they want. They chose 2 seconds.
Very, very feisty at this point. A Subaru ahead goes ahead of Mercedes after serving their penalty.
So teams that have had a good start to this race include Volkswagen, Subaru,
so
and Nissan. They've been up 1.
Mercedes is still 2.5 seconds ahead of the Genesis with that penalty.
Now they have got Nissan breathing down their neck, and not too far adrift is Honda as well. Honda were doing a good job. They were up there in 6th place just a few moments ago, have now been overtaken by Genesis and in turn
yeah,
Nissan
I hope Nico catches him up, you know. Go on, Nico.
The hard runners, they are kind of leading that second pack. Genesis has done a good job of coming back through. Nissan, of course, as well, starting from P11.
Oh, track limit.
Right now, and Genesis have been given a 1-second penalty for driving dangerously post-incident. Now, we didn't see the full replay there. We saw him get bipped. We didn't see him come back on. So this is the replay of BMW and their penalty. Let's see what they did here. I'm going to go up the inside of Lexus. A little bit of contact there. Round goes Lexus. So, that's a shame there. That was a very messy first lap.
Yuki Hidalgo was behind the wheel. That was going in towards that hairpin. Of course, the first real opportunist braking zone on the circuit, and drivers just getting a little bit too eager, maybe cold tyres and cold brakes.
So messy, isn't it, again?
Here is the 1-second penalty that Genesis have got, and they will have to serve that. They will then, of course, fall behind Nissan and possibly into the clutches of Honda.
These penalties, though, chat. I think they hired Massey. I think they've hired Massey for this.
Ready to serve that penalty here for Genesis then, so it's going to be into the penalty zone. They move off the racing line very sensibly, allowing them to go through, and look at side-by-side further back between Honda and Mazda here too as they come through the tunnel. Then we look at Nissan, who are up the road.
Toyota and Porsche working together here. They're not fighting, chat. They're playing it really smart. They're literally doing this perfect. They're not battling. Whoever's driving the Toyota there is playing it so sensible. They're not fighting. Working. He's literally just in the slipstream, probably saving fuel, playing it smart. Get away from the other drivers. Don't battle it, and then pull away.
They've just pulled away from the pack, but I think they're being clever. They're kind of working together a bit here in this early stage. The gap is still half a second. You see the live point rankings as they stand if the race finished right now. Of course, we still have 15 laps of racing left. And
really smart driving.
So interestingly, Tom, we are coming up now to lap 6.
Kokobum.
We think we're going to see probably first of the pit stops.
What
we think we're going to see.
They're just working smart together.
Is the teams do both 6 laps on the medium and the hard, and then do that 8 laps there on that soft track. Really make the
Porsche will have a tyre advantage, I think, over the Toyota, slightly.
As we chase the Porsche up the hill. I'm going to say the reverse version of this circuit. This circuit's kind of mad anyway, but the reverse version, that massive uphill climb towards the first hairpin. It's solid, isn't it? It's all right.
It was funny because we were talking earlier. You said, "Oh, actually, who goes and paints the grid slots for this reverse layout instead of the forward layout?" But
I think there's probably someone down there in the polyphony zone. It's their job to turn the grid slots around for this. So
out there with a big paintbrush. That's yeah. Looking here at Subaru, then all over.
Yeah, Akagi's in the
Volkswagen, and Holland picking up a penalty there. Absolutely what that's all about. There was nothing under investigation, so we assume that is track limits for the time being. Behind the wheel of that Honda at the moment is João Pessoa, the Brazilian driver. So let's see whether that is going to compromise their race.
So,
they're now a second behind Mazda, despite being.
I wonder if
really
Killian will pit on the end of this lap 6 and do longer stint on the softs with the Subaru.
It is so fast.
What do you reckon, chap? I reckon Killian will pit this lap. I don't think he'll do more than 6. He'll do a 6.6 and then do the extra laps on the softs with the tyre wear on that Subaru. Surely.
Just because it has that sheer amount of aero and the mechanical grip, it's able to close back up again. Now, we're on board, well, Subaru and Volkswagen both coming over to the right-hand side of the circuit, as are Mercedes all pitting in on lap 6 for, in the case of, this is Porsche, I think, pitting in for the soft compound of Michelin tyres. So everyone diving into the pits now. You can see driver changes there happening in the bottom left.
Surprised if they're pitting then. I'm surprised that I'm surprised Killian didn't go a little bit earlier.
Pit wall we have here at Gran Turismo and decide when is the best time to come in. So into the car now for the soft compound.
No, they wouldn't go one more lap, Neil. It wouldn't make sense, mate. Won't make sense.
So he's the driver who set pole position. So he's really quick.
They'll do longer on the softs now, so they'll leave themselves 6 laps at the end to do on the hard tyres because they have to do 6. They'll do all the rest of the laps now on the softs.
Porsche have gone to the soft tyre. Toyota, who are in second or were in second, have gone to the hard tyre. So alternate strategies here.
And that's Igor Fraga in the car there on the hard compound tyre. So what I'm thinking is they're going, right, we'll put Fraga in. Fraga's a very safe pair of hands in a Toyota. He's driven the car for a long time. And probably just thinking, right, damage limitation. Let's lose as little
also,
time
you've
as
got
on that hard compound
Nick
tyre.
on the softs at the end in the Toyota. Nick is rapid at this track, so that could be a good shout, you know.
Let's see what they can do from here. This is going to be their fast stint for Subaru. We'll see what sort of times they can do.
What we should expect here from Porsche is to go for as long as they can on this soft compound tyre. So this is going to alternate the strategies, as we said, not only in terms of their pace, but Porsche will go for as long as they can in this middle stint. Toyota, they're probably going to go for the minimum time. 6 laps on that hard tyre. That's the minimum time they have to do. So they'll be coming into the pits at a different time.
It's going to be an interesting race this at the end, you know, Chad.
Interestingly, at the end of this race, Nissan and Genesis into
I think Porsche and Toyota have gone. I think they've got it. I don't think anyone's challenging Porsche and Toyota.
So that's going to
they work too smart together, but I don't know who's going to get it. Depends with the Porsche. I'm going to go with Toyota for this. It's looking like Toyota for me.
We've got Volkswagen right up their trumpet.
Depends on the fuel though, because Porsche is really good on fuel.
On the back foot here, really, because they've got 2 soft shod machines very close behind, and I wonder how good Igor Fraga's defensive.
I think Toyota have got the driver advantage, and that's why I'm saying Toyota.
As long as he doesn't lose too much time defending,
see, this is the thing now. Fraga doesn't want to defend too aggressively.
Which has allowed VW onto the inside here. Next corner is a right-hander, and VW does seem to have the legs in a straight line over the Toyota. It's very
no, it doesn't. It will not have the legs. The Toyota is faster.
VW back into the slipstream. Are we going to see it dive here up the inside?
He'll go for it here. Yeah.
Up the inside there.
Smart that Fraga just let him through there, though. Didn't fight it back.
He tries to get the undercut. It's Suzuki currently in the.
He'll be just trying to hold on to the slipstream as long as possible here. So Fraga will be just trying to hang in the slipstream, use the slipstream. Oh, he got pushed out of the way. That was a bit naughty.
I'm not sure. That was Drumont there. No, sorry, it wasn't Drumont. Sorry,
you're right.
Oh, it was Drumont, sorry, in the Supra. So I think he might have had contact.
Let's see whether we get a replay.
That was a bit naughty.
Killian Drumont either got his elbows out or Igor Fraga made a bit of a mistake. It's an interesting area to go and do that. The upshot is that it's now the 3 soft shod runners who are at the helm of this race, followed by then the hard runners of Toyota, Mercedes, Nissan and Genesis under investigation.
Now the thing is, that Subaru is awful on the hard tyres, isn't it?
There was contact between those 2 drivers, and that's going to be really interesting if they're awarded a penalty. Meanwhile, come back to that thought in a few moments' time, because Genesis on the hard tyres are being chased down by the soft shod Mazda, the medium shod Mazda.
No, they'll want Toyota will want Subaru, because Subaru is their main competitors in the standings, I think. So
in the middle of the corner, Subaru awarded with a 1-second penalty as Mazda.
Yeah, I was going to say
up to P6.
That seems about right.
Subaru, of course, they take a long time to get up to speed, does that car? And the penalty zone is pretty much right here where we're watching the cars go through now. So that's going to be a big time loss for them. We're going to get a replay and see what happened there. So we're on board with the Subaru now. Killian Drumont at the wheel. Yeah, just a little bit. I think maybe not quite anticipating the fact that the Toyota there is on the slower tyre. We know that car's
didn't look that bad on that view. It's still just a bit wrong. It's just a bit of a nudge.
Yeah, I think just a little bit of miscommunication there.
That's unfortunate for Kylian Drummond, and Subaru is going to give a fair bit of work for Danny Solis to do once he takes over or behind the wheel of that car. Currently sitting in third place, but possibly going to be set to lose out here. Warning there for Lexus for colliding with another car. They're down in P11, having a bit of a dog's day at the office.
BMW's not having a good day at the back, are they?
Strife that they were in the opening stages after that contact with BMW on the opening lap, and well, it just goes from bad to worse there for them if they are awarded a penalty. We'll see what the stewards do decide. So across the timing line come Volkswagen.
McLaren's down there in P10. Have McLaren got the soft tyres to go at the end though, chap?
Over the rest of the field, and Kellen Stroza's putting in some brilliant laps behind the wheel of that one. A 123.8 it was last time around. Compare that to the other soft shod cars at 24.1 for Volkswagen, 24.2 for Subaru. So he's a few tenths of a second faster already.
Yeah, we know this about Angel. You put him at the head of a race, you put him on the soft compound tyre, he'll just rocket away. It's his favourite place to be on the circuit. So Subaru there serving the penalty they've got for the contact with Toyota, and now has to try and make up that time.
Toyota's going to get a bit of slip again off that Subaru.
He's going to lose that time. You can see currently what the points available are for this race. 12 points for a win in race 1. That's then doubled to 24 points in the grand final. So even if you have a bad race 1 here, you can still come back if you have a good grand final race.
Yeah,
there are
Toyota definitely got the
half distance in this race.
I think at the moment Toyota are still looking pretty good here.
Lunge to the inside into the hairpin. It's a day later, $1 short though. Honda back up the inside as McLaren running a bit deep. I mean, they've had a tricky day at the office with
nearly
qualifying at the back
good attempt.
of the grid for this first race. Now they're trying to make forward progress behind the wheel of the McLaren at the moment. It's there's contact there, as you say, in the mid part of the circuit, and just about managing to get it facing in the right direction. Thankfully, not too much harm done.
A bit cheeky there by Ethan, wasn't it? You can't just drive through the guy in front, for crying out loud. He's there. He occupies space. You can't just drive into him. But regardless, coming now to the last corner, Nissan in front a little bit wide in the way, and there's a bit of a late apex this one. So turn in late and then full gas all the way down.
He'll get a warning for that, I think.
We're sitting behind the Honda, so we're in the slipstream. We're getting a little bit more straight line speed. You now see we're creeping up to the back of the rear wing, getting ever closer and closer. We're going to now try and go up the inside. Ethan Lim now at the wheel of the McLaren. He's going to try and go. He's on the inside now, so we'll have the inside line for the hairpin here. Through he goes on the Honda, but there might be a little bit of a warning handed out there for that little bit of a bit. There it is. There you go. Prophetic. I've done it finally.
Have you got the lottery numbers for Saturday, Jimmy?
So McLaren,
for you, mate. McLaren Ethan Lim up into 8th place. So Matt McEwen defenceless despite his best efforts. Genesis having been awarded a penalty in 6th place again as well. So that's been, what, the second penalty that they've received here in this race. I think that might be...
McLaren should be pretty nice at this track, in fairness. And McLaren should be pretty strong around here.
And we'll be keen to see what that is going to affect their race. It was
especially,
won't be too much of drama because they're already 8 seconds off.
Maybe not so much on the softs as it would have been on the harder tyres, but...
So just ahead of Nissan in 7th.
I'm keeping an eye on the Toyota and the Porsche. Quite a big gap. Quite a big gap developing there between the Porsche and the Toyota. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be looking. I mean, it's a massive tyre difference. So you've got Porsche on the soft, Toyota on the hard tyre. So 2 seconds a lap, isn't it? So
starting 10th on the grid has been a little bit too much.
It could get that 14 seconds. Actually, at the moment, Toyota are probably still looking. I think Toyota have got this. Looking at the gaps, Toyota can still do this. It all depends how fast Toyota.
So trying to squeeze.
It all depends how fast Toyota get past traffic, but that was bad.
Who's behind the wheel of that one? Esteves, unfortunately, and he just
what is he doing?
pushed himself too close to the inside.
Wow, this McLaren. Who's driving this McLaren?
The action as well, and that has cost Nissan very dearly indeed. I'm afraid to say they have gone right.
It's going to cost McLaren any chance in this.
Unnecessary.
What was that about?
You don't need to be racing each other that close on lap 12, but we'll see a replay of it. We'll see what happened there. And unfortunately for Team Nissan, that day goes from bad to, well, this has ended.
I don't think Consta's going to be very happy with that.
But we're still watching now, still watching McLaren. We'll see what happens with them.
We've lost Mazda from the race, Jimmy. Something's happening to them because they've dropped.
I reckon they'll get 4 seconds for that, maybe 3. They don't seem very strict with the penalties, but they might give 3 or 4 for that.
Problem that has robbed them of the opportunity. We're looking
Yeah, again, the driving's a bit messy again so far today, isn't it? It's a bit disappointing because these drivers can do a lot better than what they're doing here.
Them out of any meaningful contention for this one.
Yeah, real shame for them, but we've had horrible to have another issue like that for Team Mazda, but the grand final is still there. There are still double points and nothing for there, so it isn't over for them yet. Now, Team Toyota,
Mazda's glitched out.
Goes onto the soft compound of tyre, and that's going to be Nikita
Right, this is interesting now.
in the car, who qualified the car, and defended a good
Nick.
job. I mean,
Deep Forest is rapid, chat. Nick at this track is...
there, but that's, you know, that's not a bad thing at all, you know. Like I think they're all very, very equal. But he comes out just ahead.
Did he just say Nick's one of the slowest drivers there?
Not because they're fighting with BMW, but because now he has lots of free air.
No idea. I'm sorry, but Nick is not the slowest driver there, chat. Nick is rapid. Watch Nick now on these soft tyres, chat.
Pressure on Team Porsche at the front. By the way, Team Porsche have increased the lead, to nearly 5 seconds. That's Angel and Estroza at the wheel there, but the tyres are starting to get into their shelf life, so I expect to see him in on the next lap.
Yeah, we're expecting 6 laps or so there and thereabouts on the medium or the hard compound of tyres, and we're coming right into that window now. So Porsche have tried to extend that soft tyre for as long as they can.
Well, it's 6 laps minimum, so they have to come in next lap.
Nick is rapid. Even like at this track, I know he's really fast, but Nick is rapid in general.
Very shortly, we've had the last pit stops being made for Toyota, for Mercedes, and for Honda.
They need someone there who, like, I really wish they had someone who understands. Like, even Super GT, I'd like Super GT to be in the commentary as well, because he knows these drivers.
The front row of the grid, Genesis and McLaren also into the pits. Soft tyres there for McLaren for their final stint. Genesis also opting for the same strategy, and likewise Lexus, BMW coming
trying to keep an eye on the Delta
at the end of lap 13. So now it is all about Nikita Moisov.
This is going to be so close between Porsche and Toyota, chat.
Use that tyre advantage, use that clear air to close the deficit down to Team Porsche once the German manufacturer makes their final pit stop in this race.
You're going to watch out now for the soft runners. They're going to be really fast at the end of this race. And if you save the hard tyre until last, you're going to be the one that's vulnerable. So we'll keep an eye on this. Team BMW coming out of the pit lane. Not been a good start for them, unfortunately. A big penalty earlier on, and a spin means they are somewhat out of contention here, but still in the race and going to be in it to win it. So we'll keep an eye on them, see if they can improve from there. Porsche are still leading, just coming around the final corner now, and we expect him coming to pit lane.
On to them now, is he? Is he on the softs?
Just sitting there on the soft tyre, comes into the pit lane, and he'll be.
Did McLaren get a penalty, by the way? I didn't see. Did McLaren get a penalty?
Sasaki is basically going to go backwards on this stint. So what he needs to have hoped is that INERT has built up enough of a gap.
Well,
Jimmy does a great job on the commentary, I think, personally. He does a great job on the commentary. It's just knowledge of the game that's lacking. Like, he doesn't have the knowledge, that's the only part, but his commentary is great.
And Subaru, their last driver change, and now we're coming right into the business end of this.
They haven't got a penalty yet.
Remain here at Deep Forest Raceway, 12 points up for grabs for the winner, and of course they've accrued World Series points over the course of this year as well, so they will want as good an opportunity as they can. So Porsche,
look at the Delta, chat. Look at the, oh my god, look at the Delta on the Toyota coming down.
2.7 of Volkswagen in front of Subaru. Toyota have got a bit of a mountain to climb here in P4.
I think INERT's middle stint might have just one Porsche this race. I mean, bear in mind, Volkswagen
I don't think it has. I don't know. Look at Toyota's Delta, chat. This is going to be close, I think.
Sorry, Toyota, despite having a tyre.
Look at the Delta coming down on the Toyota.
Has to get by Subaru, has to get by Volkswagen.
It's coming down by like a second every.
Porsche, all in 5 laps.
Yeah, it's 12 seconds the gap at the moment, and unless well, anything happens to the top 3, or indeed if Nikita Moisov is eating his Weetabix this morning, I think he's still going to be in with a bit of a hard charge.
2.5 now, chat. Look at the gap coming down. Are they look at the gap? Commentary.
Sits in 7th place. Konstantinos Konstantinu at the helm.
These soft tyres in this final sector here, they're worth probably a second to a second and a half over the hard tyre alone. So much faster through here. Look at it. 1.9 now, chat. 1.8. 1.7.
The question is, can he find his way through?
We'll have to wait and see, won't we? That's a big thing about this.
10 seconds behind the leader now, chap.
We'll start getting the draft going down the straight as well. It's such a long straight. up towards that first massive break.
I'm telling you, Toyota are in a really good position here. Ignore what they're saying, because Toyota are going to be very close at the end of this. Like, this is going to be a great battle at the end, trust me. Toyota's tyres will be fading. The Porsche will have good hard tyres, but I personally think the Toyota might get this.
Meanwhile, Subaru and Toyota now getting close together. Subaru, of course, on that harder compound tyre. Maybe it's time now for a bit of payback here for Team Toyota. Of course, we had Drew Bond give Fraga a bit of a
surely that Subaru is going to be a sitting duck here. Like, there's no point defending it.
Who's that Solace in the car? A little bit of a there. So McLaren, 2-second penalty, and Toyota up the inside. Decisive move there up the inside of Team Subaru.
Go on, Nick.
Third place now. Can they catch Volkswagen? 3 seconds to go.
Absolutely. Well, of course, there are still points on offer for first, second, third.
It's going to be close, I'm telling you.
So they want to accrue as many points as they possibly can. If second is going to be the best opportunity that Team Toyota will get, it will be where they qualify, where they will finish.
Yeah, go on, Conster as well.
A very welcome result for them, because, of course, they were tied on points coming into this event here too.
Toyota are charging though. They've done the fastest lap of the race, a 23.7 on that last lap there. Of course, this lap will probably be a bit slower due to the overtake, but they're looking very, very quick indeed. In fact, 2 seconds quicker than the Porsche on the last time around. So on that pace, they might actually get there. It'll be close, but they might just make it. And Moisov now really got his head down, really is trying to bring that gap down as quick as possible. In the background, Mercedes also gets by Subaru. Now, this is terrible for Subaru.
1.8 that lap, a little bit slower there for the Toyota, but he had to do the overtake, so...
Every point they lose to Team Toyota is another point behind going into the Grand
It's going to be close. At the moment, it's looking like Porsche are going to be about a second. I reckon they'll finish a second ahead, but it all depends on if the Toyota can do some really fast laps here.
If they can possibly do so, but it is going to be a hard old task given the lack of straight line speed that we've seen.
I don't know whether the tyre wear is going to affect the Toyota on the last few laps.
And of course the fact that they are on the hard tyres relative to those around them being on the soft. Just to give you an idea of the difference in pace between Porsche, who lead this race, 125.8 it was last time around for Porsche. For Toyota, a 124.3, so there's 8.1 seconds separating them.
24.0 for their last lap in Toyota.
To challenge for the race lead, but I think second place is definitely on the cards, and you can see that gap visibly closing here.
Yeah, if you're in the VW right now, you are panicking. You're like, oh no, I know, get away from me.
It's going to be about, yeah, I think they're going to finish just behind the Porsche, you know, just behind.
It's more like it's in braking, it's in traction, mid-corner, everywhere you're slower.
He's got the slipstream to the Beetle now, which will give him a double slipstream because he's going to get it on this straight and the next straight. What are the lap times?
I'm not sure it's going to be enough. It's two and a bit laps left now for VW to try and defend this. I don't think they're going to be able to do it, Tom.
No,
3 laps left, 18, 19, 20. They've got 3-4 laps left.
Behind the wheel of Toyota, as we know, is the Czech driver Nikita Moisov, and it is really all to play for. Very deep on the brakes. There goes Roberto.
Was he on the handbrake there in the way?
Don't know if he's going to get him on this. This could cost Toyota a chance of the lead here, because I don't think he's going to get him before the end of this straight, because that Beetle's got quite a lot of grunt. I don't think he's going to be able to make the move. Will he? Let's see. He's going to go for it. Yeah, see, this is going to cost Toyota massively. Now they've got the Mercedes behind as well. Oh, this is so annoying for Toyota. Got the inside, he's got the inside.
Here comes Team Toyota up the inside of the German manufacturer.
Good move, good move.
Keep an eye out behind, because Mercedes could be ready to shuffle Volkswagen off the podium here too.
Yeah, that was actually disastrous for Toyota. They got caught there.
That's get Porsche have got the win here now, but that's just cost them about a second and a half.
Maybe the Merc driver is thinking about trying to stay in that toe in the slipstream. It's Baptiste Pro.
They're not going to catch now. They need to do 3 seconds a lap faster, chat.
Try and draft by VW.
I tell you, oh, it's blocking. You can't block.
It's going to try and go up the inside here, try and get the move made.
This is going to be interesting with Mercedes and Toyota at the end, though. This is Baptiste. We all know how fast Baptiste is.
Contact there between the two of them. It's side by side, door banging up into the head. Mercedes
God. Now the Mercedes is quick in a slipstream though.
And now, does he know?
Oh, he come back at him.
The VW, go on, mate. You can do this. I'm enjoying this. That VW on the hard compounded tyre is going to feel awful compared to the Mercedes, but still.
So Nick is giving the slipstream to the Beetle here.
Of Toyota in front.
Fair play to Roberto Sternberg, then managing to defend that position, but here comes Baptiste Beauvoir late on the brakes, up the inside he goes, and through into third place. Get the car stop this time, Baptiste, no! Contact between the
I don't
two.
think that was deliberate. He lost the rear. I think that's okay.
Does Roberto Sternberg, no harm done there, but now they've got a bit of a mountain to climb.
I tell you what, chat. How much did that penalty cost Mercedes here?
An awesome couple of laps there from
If they didn't get that, if they didn't get that penalty for that move, Mercedes,
and ahead of the field, just a couple more
they could have been right up there.
Between the penultimate lap, I don't think Toyota have enough time to do this. Mercedes don't have enough time to do it. As long as they can just cruise to the end now, keep it going, they should be fine. Meanwhile, Lexus and McLaren are locked in a fight as well. Lexus with a poor start earlier on. McLaren.
It looks like the soft tyres have died, chat.
Of course, in last place.
It looks like the soft tyres have died on the soft tyre runners now. Seems they've got nothing left.
Points do mean prizes in this race, and they'll want to get as many as they possibly can. Of course, double points on offer for this grand final. We sit on the final lap. It's Team Porsche with the advantage at the front of this race, but in the battle for 8th, it is coming down to the last run here at the Deep Forest Raceway. Slipstream, of course, here for McLaren as they come across the timing line. Lexus know that. They go for the defensive line in towards the right hand, and we've seen contact here before. Let's see if they can go 2 by 2 sensibly into the left. We're about to jink it down. There's a bit of door handle bashing between the two. Lexus on the inside, then coming into the braking zone. Can they hold firm and hold the line through there? I think they just about can. McLaren have to go the long way round and get it a bit out of shape coming through the mid part of the corner. It's going to be a run down this back straight then here, surely into the hairpin.
Yeah, Team Porsche, though, out front on their final lap now. It's been a fantastic, dominant drive there.
Mercedes getting close to the Toyota there. Mercedes came from nowhere there.
First win in the Manufacturers Cup,
I have to say, if Mercedes didn't get that penalty,
absolutely fantastic from
they could have been right up there because they just lost 2 or 3 seconds with the Beetle.
For the German manufacturer in their Porsche 911, a great drive as the lights the flag victory it is for them as they come out of the final corner.
I think Toyota will be happy with that because their main rival is Subaru at the moment, isn't it? So Subaru will get less points out of that.
From Team Porsche, and it's Toyota who are best of the rest in second place, and Mercedes completing the podium in third place as well. Volkswagen will finish in 4th ahead of Subaru.
That Volkswagen was like,
after a scrap.
I think without that there, that would have been a lot more interesting at the end.
I think who will just get the better of McLaren despite the pressure that they've been under on that final lap. But what a fantastic first race in the Manufacturers Cup. A great start to the evening for Porsche.
I think Mercedes there.
Big winners here in race
I
one,
actually think
Genesis, they really threw that one. P6 for them, not going to put them in good stead there for the last
how many
race.
times did the Genesis spin? Was it 2?
Far from over.
You can see the teams and the drivers just discussing with one another there. They're a Team Porsche celebrating with one another. Great drive it was from
Makes you wonder, actually. Genesis and Mercedes could have both had a chance in that.
Here are the highlights then of that race. Porsche led the way into the first corner. There wasn't long before the incident started unfolding. We saw a big moment there. Lexus getting turned round by BMW.
I think they shouldn't. Do you know what I think Toyota made the mistake of doing? I think they made the mistake. I think they made the mistake of going on the hard tyre and then getting caught in traffic because then they were battling. If they would have followed with Porsche with the same strategy, they could have stayed in the slipstream and really got close. But yeah, I think they just made a mistake.
Hoping for some team radio there, but I think sound of silence was the order of the day for Genesis. After the first pit stops played out, there was a divergence in strategies.
Yeah,
with
it was
Porsche
a bit.
going onto the soft tyre Toyota.
I don't know who the stewards are at these events, but
for these different drivers, as it all got
this battle here lost a lot of time.
Yeah, it was a great call by Porsche to do that, but Toyota on the slower compound tyre got caught up in some fights, slowed them down on the middle stint there, ended up getting bullied by Team Subaru mid-sector.
Again, this all cost the Toyota too much time. They probably should have went on the same strategy as the Porsche, I think.
Sorry guys, sorry. That's okay. You kept the toe. It's probably faster.
Danny's on us saying it's fine, do it again.
We saw McLaren versus
accelerate.
Floor speed.
Floor speed.
And that, of course, was the undoing there. And this was the contact that sent Nissan into the shadow realm as they went down the wrong way.
Oh no!
No.
Oh, that's a huge pen.
And then we can see Toyota going up the inside of Subaru for third place in the closing stage of this race. Toyota, of course, on the soft competitive tyre, while Subaru were on the hards and we're all at sea. It all got really feisty with just a few laps remaining. Toyota
who was that? Who said that's a huge pen?
Inside of Volkswagen and going up into third place. Mercedes fancied a slice of the action as well and got themselves eventually ahead. Ran a little bit onto that corner. There was a bit of contact, but fortunately they both kept it facing the right way and they managed to get the final spot on the podium.
Interesting race, so could have been better. I think that Volkswagen cost us a good battle at the end there, you know, chat. I reckon that Volkswagen, if that wasn't there, we would have had a much better ending.
And you can see visibly the delight for Suzuki there.
Yeah, the last race has got dynamic weathering with Daddy, so Spa last race, dynamic weathering it should be interesting. So that's a good result for Toyota though, because they should still be top, shouldn't they?
Subaru, Genesis, Honda, Lexus, McLaren, BMW, Nissan, and of course, sadly, a DNF following a technical failure for Team Mazda down in 12th position.
Technical failure, I guess that's a wheel issue, I would presume.
There, JB.
Yeah, really enjoyed that one. It was a bit of a slow burn, as we tend to have these manufacturer races. Yeah, strategies come together.
You're right, Kinetic, how are you, mate?
Losers getting biffed out of the way, I think, by Mercedes at the start, then having some penalties later on for some unsafe rejoins. I think that car seems to be quick, but sixth place definitely isn't where it belongs.
Absolutely. Well, let's head down to Julia then, who is with our Race 1 winners from Team Porsche.
Well, yes.
You didn't get a notification again, Kinetic?
I mean,
I don't know what's going on with YouTube with these notifications. You know? No idea, mate.
To be honest, at the start, watching Jose, I was suffering a little bit watching Toyota behind us because, you know, the Toyota car has a lot of top speed. So, yeah, anyway, we all made an awesome job. And, well, I have to say that Sasaki-san, he's 18 years old and he's doing such a great job. This guy here as well, so I don't know. It's an awesome team.
How worried were you about your strategy, like especially in that kind of final lap as like Toyota were coming up behind? Were you worried?
Bueno, ¿estás preocupado por la estrategia con Toyota viniendo desde atrás, Josete?
Pues no, porque sabía que se iban a meter en tráfico y nosotros íbamos a ir solos porque teníamos un muy buen ritmo y la verdad que no ha salido muy bien.
No, absolutely.
You didn't get a notification either, Raccoon? Yeah, it's just YouTube issues at the moment.
Getting into traffic,
unfortunately.
And, we were in our own race without traffic, so yeah, in the end, everything worked well for us.
So tell me, what was it like working with these guys?
彼らと一緒に走ってどんな感じですか？どういう感想をお願いします。
そうですね。非常に心強くて、すごくマージンを取っていただいたので、僕は自分の走りに集中することができました。
Yeah, I mean they're very strong drivers, and because they built such a big gap, you know, before I got in the car, I could really focus on my driving.
So, okay, what's the plan for the grand final?
To fight with everything we have. We know that it is a Spa. The Porsche maybe not be that good, but maybe there's some rain coming, hopefully.
What are you on about, Mike?
So yeah,
and it's double points, you know. So
loads of you didn't get a notification.
We'll do
I don't know what's going on with the notifications at the moment, chat. I have no idea what is going on with them. But
and we're going to chuck it back to you, Tom and Jimmy.
YouTube problems.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jules. Very sinister whisper coming from Julia in the middle of that interview. But huge congratulations to Team Porsche nonetheless. Let's have a look, shall we, at the point standings after that first race in the Manufacturers Cup World Final. So, of course, we've got the World Series points. We've now got the Race 1 points, and it's advantage Team Toyota by 4 to the good from Subaru.
Yeah, you can see that second place really helped them out there, of course. 4 points now over Subaru. As you said, Mercedes.
I've never done the reverse layout on Dragon Trail.
0 points. Back at the
Dragon Trail, Deep Forest.
So, grand final, though, of course, worth double points. So, a good result for, I think, any of the top 4 or 5 teams. Could see them rocking up to the top of the
This is a 4-way fight for the win here, you know, chat, I think, looking at this. Porsche, they can get another good result in the second race. Mercedes are up there. Subaru, Mercedes look good. They got held up a bit. Subaru didn't look quite strong in that one.
With Subaru before we get this
be very interesting. Obviously, is it still double points for the last race,
Having a
did
bit
they
of a
say?
chat. Sorry, we're supposed to be doing a
You got
live show,
notifications
I
for all the
guess? I
good
don't know.
stuff. Like,
guys, how are you
glad
doing?
someone got
I mean,
them.
how was that last race for you?
It's a good race.
Thank you, Glamo, mate. Thank you so much for that comment, by the way, Glamo.
For the car, it's not very great, so deep for us.
Yeah, I know it's had notification problems for a long time, but the last few days it's been pretty bad.
More good for us. So, yeah, for Windows Championships, I want to.
I voted. Oh no, I didn't vote. I didn't have time. I went to do it before and it was over.
I think it's great seeing you guys together. This is super cool for me. I'm enjoying this immensely. How do you feel going into the race? Like, what's going to be? How are you going to kind of focus and pull it through?
Are they doing any Group 4 races, or is it all Group 3? Kind of. It's like they admit to their BOP problems if they don't do Group 4. It's like they're basically saying, yeah, our Group 4 sucks.
僕もキリアンとダニエルと一緒にチーム組めるのは非常に今回すごい嬉しいですし、決勝はもうなるようになると思うので、個人的には雨が降るのをすごい期待しているので、雨が降ってくれればいいなと思ってて。で3人で力を合わせて、チャンピオンを取れたらなというふうに思っています。
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very happy to be here, driving together with Killian and Daniel. In the final, I hear that there may be some rain. We're pretty good in the rain. I'm pretty good in the rain, so I'm hoping that it does come. And I just want to work together with them to try to win.
And so, as it's kind of a little bit up in the air, what the weather might be. Maybe in the last one. How
is she drunk?
For this?
Yeah, I practice a lot on the rain. Yes. Yeah, because it's very important for the race. So I hope you have so much rain for the race. So I hope.
It's not often, I think, that drivers like, yeah, you know what? Let's have some rain. Doesn't happen that often. Well, look, you guys are amazing drivers. We have every confidence in you, and I think good luck going into that grand final. Thank you. Thanks. Back to you, Tom and Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Jules. So let's have a look, shall we, at the points going into the grand final. Of course, it is double points for this last race. So it's still all to play for.
There's only 2 races.
4 points at the top of the tables.
Yeah, we have seen in the
I thought there was 3 races.
Cup that some teams may be completely out of it already. Just go ahead and smash the grand
I
final.
thought there was 3 races.
Rocket up
there's only 2
into the pole position there. But
so there's no Group 4 race. So basically, what they're saying is our BOP sucks balls, and they won't do Group 4 race.
Was that all right? Was that good?
Yeah, but it's a Belgian circuit.
Yeah, but is it French-style accent?
I don't know. You can speak Flemish if you wanted to. Anyway, grid order is made by the race 1 results. 30 laps for this one. It's going to be a long old race. This we're reckoning about 70 minutes or so there and thereabouts. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Can we get a seat up here, boys? All right, but yeah,
bit disappointing they're only doing 2 races.
Down there. I reckon there might be a little bit of rain at some point. We don't know when, but definitely something for our drivers to contend with.
Only racing hard.
Is one thing, do that easy. You always go for the
I
best.
feel like they should allow more than 1 tyre if there's rain possible, just so some people can take a gamble.
The World Series events in the rain earlier on here this year. Do you remember? Was it Takuma Miyazono? I think it could have been, who managed to just blitz the strategy effectively. Yeah, just drove through the field at the end of the race. And I mean, if teams can pull that off and read the weather, read the conditions right, that could be the difference between them finishing, say, 6th.
Hard tyres are going to be horrible on the if a track dries out, aren't they? So if a track dries out or a slightly wet track, the hard tyres will be disgusting.
He's done the most races yet. 18 races, that many? Baptiste, mate. Been around for a while, but of course Igor Fraga and Yamanaka there. 13 top 5 finishes with Igor Fraga with 7 wins. There's a reason why we talk about Igor Fraga so much. Guy's based.
So eloquently put. Well, this is an endurance race, Jimmy. We love an endurance race. What makes this so special for the strategy?
I think for me, I mean, I'm a massive endurance racing fan. It's you don't necessarily have to be the fastest driver to win. It's just about who has the best head on their shoulders. Who's best at maybe being consistent. Who's best at looking.
So I presume it's going to start in the dry, isn't it? It's going to start off dry, and then there's going to just be a random chance of rain in the race.
I'm a slow driver. So I like to try and use anything else to my at my disposal there.
And like you say, right tyre at the right time. Do you think some of the teams may take it a bit conservatively, given that there are double points on offer, or do you think they're just going to go hell for leather and say, it's sod it, it's the grand final?
Depends
Callum! Thank you for 8 months of support on the channel, Callum, mate. Who will get dirty? I mean, there was a few dirty moves in the previous race, Callum. There was some pretty bad driving at the start of the last race. Mercedes were a little bit messy at the start. start. I think even Genesis returned it to someone else. McLaren was killing people.
Of course, we've also said
But
every time you come into the
yeah, I don't know in this one. I have no idea who's going to murder. Who's going to do the first murder in this one?
First driver once again. So
hopefully it's a clean one. I hope this next one's a really good, clean race. It's a shame that it's only 2 races though. I was really hoping.
Anyway, of course, we have.
I was really hoping it was going to be
to unveil here tomorrow for the Nations Cup
3 races and we'd have a Group 4 race as well, because maybe it would highlight the issues with the BOP, but unfortunately, don't want to do it, do they?
We haven't seen this car yet.
Thank you so much, Callum, by the way, for the long-term support, you legends. Thumbs up and legend emote for Callum, please. And EFC, thank you for 42 months of high-tier support. 1 month closer, mate. Nearly there, mate. Nearly there. Spam that legend emote for EFC as well, please, chat. Thank you so much for the support, you lot. Legends. I should get Deadeye to record him saying murder, and then every time we see a murder, like on a race or something, we should like press the thing, murder, murder. Oh dear. Callum, $20 as well. What a legend. Chat, spam that legend emote for Callum, please, for the $20 donation. Hello all, and we all know what's in the box, right? Thank you very much, Callum. Chat, big thumbs up and legend shout out for Callum, please, for the $20 donation. Thank you so much for the support, mate. Appreciate that. I need a wee before this race starts. It's a long one.
Well, we began
Going for a quick wee. Back in a second.
Long time ago, and it all comes down to now. 30 laps of Spa-Francorchamps will decide our Manufacturers Cup World Champions for 2022. And here is how the grid will be formed for the last race of the season. Team Porsche will start from pole position alongside them Team Toyota. The next row of the grid is comprised of Mercedes AMG. And next up it is Team Volkswagen, a strong end to their race despite being on the hard tyres in race 1. Team Subaru head the third row of the grid with Genesis, the newcomers in 2022, lining up P6. Then it is Honda in P7. Alongside Lexus in P8 on the grid. 9th position is McLaren with a scrappy first race. They'll be hoping for cleaner things in race 2, the grand final. BMW line up alongside them. Team Nissan down on the final row of the grid in 11th place. And great to see Mazda back out and ready to go here for the grand final. And of course, Jimmy, one thing we have to mention, there's a bit of rain on the horizon, and it's already raining now.
It is raining, and interestingly, Team Toyota, the only team to go for that full wet tyre. Everyone else an intermediate, so this could either be a masterstroke from Team Toyota or disaster. But regardless, on that intermediate compound tyre,
back in time.
That racing line is going to be very tricky. The traditional racing line is already rumbled up, it's going to be slippy, so you have to try and...
Oh, so is it already wet, the track?
Whether it's going to take the wet line
is it already a bit wet?
That dry racing line for the quickest line through the corner. But 20 laps coming up here at Spa. Team Porsche leading the way.
Someone's on wet.
Super interesting race.
Just saw
this is interesting. Thank you for the super chat, mate. Your legend chat. Spam that legend mode for Pietrek, please. What's that before? There it is. Trees. Just ignore the trees. He loves his trees, Pietrek. Thank you for the support, mate, you legend. Okay, so I'm guessing there's more rain coming.
Porsche lead the field across the timing line and down in towards the first corner of La Source. So it's Porsche from Toyota, from Mercedes into the first corner. Of course, that rolling start spreads the field out. Don't expect too many moves to be made in the early stages, although Honda seems to be...
Why did they not do the 24-hour layout with the better rolling start?
Wet tyres are going to work out for Toyota as we come up the rise through Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time.
Already a second from Porsche to Toyota, so Toyota really struggling to get out. The Source getting on the hairpin there on that heavy wet compound of tyre, and immediately you can see darting offline, trying to 1 break the toe and 2 keep that tyre cool. But in the slipstream there, in the draft, building up Genesis there alongside.
Surely the Toyota is going to be strong around this track if it dries out.
But now they're keeping the place at the moment. But Honda up 2 places there from the starting position. Subaru on that main straight there, down 2, just not able to keep the rest of the pack with the straight line speed.
Yeah, Nico Romero doing a good job behind the wheel of that Genesis to get his elbows out in the early stages. Once the field is really bunched up down in towards Rivage, we go.
Spartan's it's got rain, clearly.
Wants to understeer going through here, and you can see, of course, that the front engine cars are going to be a little bit harder to turn than some of the mid-engine machines as we go through the left-hander of Ixon on the run,
so
down the hill in towards Pillon.
Is it possibly going to rain more? Is that why Toyota has started on the wet tyre? Can we not see the radar? They should put the radar on. I want to see the radar of where the weather's coming from. Are they going to show that?
There's a big variable here, because if the rain gets harder, then Toyota will be in the pouncings, but they need to not burn those tyres up too early on.
What rain? I don't think it's rain. I think it's already stopped raining, Tom, at this point. I can't see any more rain on the windscreen there. So,
well, can we have a look at the radar and see?
Very, very important. That's a disaster for Toyota if the rain's already stopped. The rest of the field are on intermediates, and that Toyota's going to be in a heavy wet tyre, which is going to wear extremely quickly on the dry surface. So they're going to have to hope that the circuit stays somewhat wet. And you can see in front there, they're already struggling. 1.5 seconds is the gap between Porsche and Toyota. We saw Igor Fraga to start the race.
Porsche's good in the wet, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if this was the right choice or not.
Well, we were talking to Team Subaru, who are down in 7th place, of course.
Yeah, the wet tyre will be fine. It won't burn up so much in this, but it will burn up if it dries out. In these conditions, the wet tyre won't die because it's still got water there to stop it. But if it dries out more, the wet tyre will actually burn out a bit. It'll die really quickly on the rears. I want to see the weather radar to see what's going on.
Colliding with another car, they're sitting P4, so let's see. Whoa, look at that! Late on the brakes, as you like, in towards La Source we go for Mercedes. Just goes to show how much more grip there is on that intermediate tyre compared to the full wet.
And even despite going wide there, Mercedes still had a better exit in terms of speed coming out of the corner.
Try Lando with the £10 free PayPal as well, you legend.
And now they're in that draft. The only thing saving it right now is its straight line speed. The rain has started.
Thank you so much, Try Lando. Chat, big thumbs up and legend shout out for Try Lando as well, please, for the support in the stream. Absolute legend there. Thank you very much for that, Try Lando, mate. Appreciate all your support in the channel.
And Team Toyota, everyone seems to be stuck behind them at the moment.
Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button. It does help me out massively. See if we can get over 200 likes.
Just building up that gap, 1.5 seconds. It now sits out. We ride on board here with.
I want to see the radar. Why are they not giving us a view of the radar to see where the rain is?
We know he was in the wars during his first stint. Last time out in that first race, into Revenge we go.
It looks really wet there, though, you know.
How it works out. So it's all about smooth input.
Is it me or is the Toyota caught up a bit to the Porsche there? Looks like it's closer.
And the white lines, just so you can get as optimal traction as you possibly
can. They seem to be losing time.
Now these guys are all over them, so they're still managing to make it work somehow. See VW there, right on the curb on the way into the corner, watching Mercedes AMG. They need to get by Toyota as quick as possible, really. There are the points, by the way, if the race ended as of now. So Toyota can come second and still win this, but Porsche need to win and really have Toyota fall back a little bit more in the standings. But there is Porsche, that gap now up to 2 seconds. Toyota and Mercedes, they're glued together. And we need to see Lucas Pinelli make that move on Igor Fraga. He needs to make it soon.
Absolutely, I think that the best opportunity will come into the bus stop chicane if he can get a good run at a Paul Freya here, and then through Blanchimont. The good advantage for him is, of course, he has got that bit of slipstream being created, that bit of the hole in the air being pushed in front of him.
Surely that Mercedes going to send it through here, chap. It's got to go for a move in the chicane, or Mercedes is going to be screwed. I want Mercedes to get. Oh, I don't know actually. How's this going to work out?
Into the chicane, they're a bit too far away, but Lucas Pinelli, we know he's not afraid of a lunge. You can see the Toyota being parked.
Doesn't seem to be able to get it slowed down as well as the Toyota in that corner.
Just holding that car, holding that position.
Is it getting wetter?
If nothing else, a really good demonstration.
That Toyota seems to be coming back at the Porsche bit.
Yeah, really nice positioning there for Igor, just walking Benelli out to the outside of the circuit, giving him no
seems to be drying out. There's almost a dry line.
The source here, but Benelli's going to try the switch back here in the Mercedes, so that better traction as well coming out of the corner, but isn't quite close. In fact, Toyota's got some legs on it. It can just pull away from pretty much any car in a straight line. Despite that, though, Benelli is now right up in the slipstream, and meanwhile, 3 wide behind for 8th, 9th and 10th place, Lexus, Mazda and McLaren.
Yeah, I want to see the weather radar to see if there's any rain due. That's why I'm wondering if that's why he's done that strategy.
4 drivers then, 4 manufacturers all squabbling.
Although look at the Delta, chap. The Toyota is starting to catch up to the Porsche, look. The Toyota is catching up to the Porsche a bit. But Mercedes has now overtook the Toyota. Mercedes has got the Toyota.
It looks like on the front of the field, sorry to cut you off there, Tom, but Mercedes have taken now Toyota. Toyota have fallen back into third position. Igor Fraga unable to keep Benelli behind in the Mercedes.
Ooh, that Mercedes looks really fast there, you know, chat.
The gap is 1.7 seconds, so not as big as it was before. So I wonder, contact in the background.
Mazda.
Mazda goes right. It's been a disastrous weekend for Mazda off the circuit. Now, I'm not sure if Lexus will push themselves there. We're going to get a replay of this is Mercedes on Toyota.
Yeah, so down the Kemmel straight they go in towards Lake Coombe. It's going to be a nice move on the inside for the brakes here for Lucas Pinelli. He goes on the inside of Igor Fraga, gets that one done, pushes Fraga towards the outside, bit of hip and shoulder through there, but all's fair in love and war, and he's now up into second place. Now the question is,
do you know what I wish we could see at this stage now, chat? I wish we could see the telemetry on the how wet the track is on the tyres and also the radar, just so we know what's going on. I want to see how dry the track is. I don't know why they're not showing us that.
We'll be keen to see what the stewards award for that. I'd love to see another angle of it because we only really caught the back end of that incident, but either way it has ruined what has been, as you said, Jimmy, a dog's day at the office for Mazda. No points in race 1, right at the back now by some 6.5 seconds here in race 2 as well.
Yeah, just notice it is still raining at Spa at the moment, so the rain is still coming down, which is some respite for Toyota, at least on that heavy wet compounded tyre. I would say though the intermediate is the tyre to be on at the moment. Just a bit more braking performance available, a bit more cornering performance available on that tyre than on the wet tyre, but Fraga should be able to keep that tyre alive. We'll just have to suffer with the pace deficit.
I feel like Toyota just have taken a risk that it's going to go heavy. They've just taken a random risk that it's going to go a bit heavier.
Behind.
Second lap on, I think we will be faster, I think.
Oh, Toyota just on wet.
Yeah, that might just cost them a world championship, Nico.
Probably.
Interesting there. Interesting. Hearing Genesis talking about Toyota saying being on the wet tyre might have just cost them the championship.
It's a very good point because, of course, they are only 4 points ahead when they were in second place. If the checkered flag fell when they were in second, they would have got the championship. Let's have another look at the replay of this incident then. So we're on board here with this and in 11th place. Mazda just up the road. Lexus
see that the sky? Looking at the skies, they are clearing.
Just way too on the brakes, and then Nissan tried to join in sympathy as well. Let's have some team radio.
Oh, come on, come on.
Oh, man.
Who was that?
You know, I'd say as well, like that was a very, very late move to the right by Lexus to defend. I mean, Mazda was already going up the inside when they moved, so stewards are lovely in-house stewards. We'll look at that. I'm going to be very nice to them now.
I say, ever since you called them mean on Thursday, you've been on the chart. Yeah, they take them out for dinner next.
Yeah, I mean, whatever stops them from keying my car. Whatever stops them from that. But we're on board now with
Porsche looks like it's getting faster.
VW, and now are in pursuit of Mercedes in front. Matt McEwen there putting in a fantastic drive in the Honda in these difficult conditions. But we're seeing that Mercedes has fallen 2.2 seconds behind Porsche. Toyota 1.7 seconds behind Mercedes. And now Matt McEwen is starting to reel.
McLaren should be good in these. McLaren's really strong at Spa in the wet. That's why I wanted to see if McLaren could work their way forward a bit here.
Shallower on the apex, a bit more grip there at this point in the race, and trying to stay off that curve a little bit more. And as you can see, if the live points, if it ended this way, it would be tied on the points. And because Porsche would win this race, Porsche would actually be the ones that take the overall championship there. The grand final result is a decider if the points are tied.
Exactly.
If this dries out, though, I'm telling you now that Supra's going to be quicker around this track. Because we all know that the Supra at this track, although the hard tyres might help the Porsche out of it.
Up the rise, I should say, on the Kemmel straight in towards Lake Coombe, and already before they've got into the braking zone, they're ahead. So that's just a good example of how you can use that momentum on the right through Eau Rouge and Rally on look here at Subaru versus Honda. Then Honda really now in the wars. It's all going to concertina up through the bus stop chicane as they come out of it now and over the timing line.
Honda look really, really quick
in the opening stages here, and the rain is coming down. You can see that visibly on your screen.
There's McLaren going through. Oh, McLaren nearly.
All of this as they come in towards the first corner.
Oh, he's on the curb. That's gonna.
Volkswagen to pull alongside on the run.
This could be side by side with a Subaru. Oh God! Can we have a proper view of this?
For a moment, or do they? It's very difficult.
Oh, he backed out. I think the McLaren backed out.
Of Subaru, so Volkswagen up into P5. Their next target is Honda. Can they get ahead of the Japanese manufacturer?
Yeah, Subaru just doesn't have the horsepower. It can't defend on this straight. It needs to be ahead and in clean air, really, to to make the most of its speed. So being behind VW here is sort of disastrous. They need to be in clean air in the middle sector, really pushing the car to its limits there, and then just damage limitation on the rest of the lap. As you can see, are the tyres available for this race, racing hard the intermediate compound, which the majority of the field are on now, and the
do you know what'll be interesting? If it dries out, chat, and then it rains at the end of the race.
Still hanging in there.
Fingers crossed. It dries out, and then it rains right at the end on the last few laps.
At this point, they just need to get there.
So, on board we ride here with Danny Solis behind the wheel of that Subaru. We know that car's got incredible grip in the corners, but that lack of straight line speed has really been punishing them so far. Let's see whether Danny is going to be able to try and upset the order as they come through Huon, then in towards the pit path into that chicane, which follows. You can see really good big corner exit. Lexus, illegal blocking, 1 second penalty. That'll be for the move we saw earlier on. And you can see diving down the inside is Danny Solis on the Volkswagen. Then
go on, McLaren, go on.
Suzuki, and look at McLaren ready to try and join in here as well. On the outside, they're going to run those, going to be onto the curve. I think they're going to be a bit compromised, but they still have the inside line and the momentum into the right hand. And Lexus are about to serve their penalty. Up the inside they go. Volkswagen pushed out, losing out also here to Lexus and possibly here to Nissan too as we come through. Paul Freya
Lexus got a penalty now as well.
The run to the bus stop chicane. So here's the penalty being served for Lexus. That drops them out of contention and right back into 10th position as it stands for now. But McLaren really...
So are we going to get this race as a race to do as in-game, chat? Or is it going to be one of the crap ones? It'd be good if it was this one, 70-minute race with dynamic weather. I'd be all over that. I doubt we'll get this one though.
Nissan goes side by side. The Nissan there doesn't roll a bit too early, a bit of oversteer, really compromises his entry into the left-hander there. That would have slowed him up.
I know, yeah. Don't be silly. They're not going to do that.
Move there by Daniel Solis on the other end of the lap, but now he's got to try and defend.
Is it getting wetter though? It doesn't look like it to me. It looks like the dry line is developing to me.
As the Subaru and its lack of power just falls back into the clutches of McLaren. Can
no, Daniel, because we've got Tuesday's, I don't know if you lot have seen, but Tuesday's race is a 45-minute race in the Toyota Cup. It's the exact race they did yesterday. So it's all 3 tyres used at Group 1 in the hybrid Toyota. It's a 45-minute race, 30 laps to Fuji. It's the exact race they did, so I'm wondering if they're going to do the same for this.
And into 4th place, so that just shows one simple mistake when you're running in a pack of cars like this can really cost you dear.
Go on, McLaren, go on.
Honda sector lose out here
Come
as
on,
well.
go for the move there. You've got it. Send
really
it.
Got the bit between his teeth. You can see the line point standings on the right-hand side of your screen, and look at that. 3 manufacturers separated by just 1 point. It would be Toyota, who, according to what that graphic says, would finish at the top of it. But of course, we know that it would be.
I was going to say, yeah, Porsche should win because Porsche win this race.
Cup champions of 2022 because it goes off of the grand final result. Look at BMW meanwhile up the inside of Lexus. Lexus trying to find their way back through after a penalty earlier on, but BMW now ahead.
No, I've got a Fanatec wheel. I've got I mean, I've already got because Kinetic sent me the F1 Esports rim. I've got that up there. But yeah, I'm happy with all my equipment at the moment. I'm waiting for V4s to come out next year, and then I'll probably upgrade to V4s next year. I'm being patient now. I've got V2s at the moment. I did used to have inverted V3, but they broke. But got V2s. I'm happy with myself at the moment. But yeah, I'm not buying. I don't need to buy anything really. I've got Christmas coming up with the kids. So yeah, that comes before my purchases.
And just having a few bad corners there, and now falling back down into the clutches of the McLaren behind. You can see Valerio out there, his teammate on the team radio.
I feel like McLaren have got a lot of pace here, you know. Who's is it Consta in that car? Because Consta's a beast at this track in the wet.
McLaren, is it going to be a move?
Go on, go on.
McLaren looks to the outside. He's going to try the long way around at the bus stop. All the Honda has to do really square of the corner.
Go on.
Just run him out wide, but no, gives them the space.
Oh, great move, great move. That was a brilliant move.
Through goes McLaren up into 5th place, and now in pursuit of the Subaru.
Let's go.
Lovely stuff behind as well. Genesis and Volkswagen were knocking 7 bells at one another. They were going side by side into Blanchimont.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good move that. Very good move that. Brake late in the wet conditions as well, chap. To slow the cars down in the wet, it's very hard on that corner.
Look at that Toyota just pulls away from us like we're standing still down the straight. We'll be getting a little bit of the draft as we're on board here with Daniel Solis once again.
That Toyota's made such a mistake going on the wets, I think. Unless it rains again, like heavy.
in a straight line. That poor little Subaru was having to fend for itself through there, but Eagle was a little bit slow through Rouge and Manuel. I had to slow the car down a bit. Those wet tyres now, I think, starting perhaps to go the other way. There's a big lunge there from Daniel Torres. What a move there.
No.
Very, very confident from... Is he going to be able to complete it?
Oh, he
No,
did it.
he
Good
is.
move. Good
There
move.
you go. What a move
I
from
think
Daniel
Fragger's
Torres.
sides
That
are
is
gone.
that's the height of confidence there.
I want to see the telemetry of the track here, Jack, because this could... What lap times are they doing? Is it getting... It looks like it could be going to dry soon, this, you know.
Is that going to cost them more than one place? It is,
Oh,
because Genesis goes siding on through as well.
McLaren.
Into sixth position, so McLaren and Matt McEwen going backwards here on this lap, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier on. When you're running in a group like that, just getting shuffled out wide, it's like touring car racing this, because it can really cost you very dear. Look at that lunge down the inside into Puon then for Genesis, up through into fifth place. What a great bit of driving there from Nico Romero. He's really got the bit between his teeth, and McLaren behind aren't done here either.
Said touring car driving there. I mean, he went straight for it, really on the court there, just straight through up into fifth place. VW there getting by McLaren in the background as well. So poor few corners.
What's happened to McLaren here?
Into eighth place. But it shows just how tight this midfield battle is. One moment of mistake, one bit of hesitation, and you find yourself losing a couple of places. So,
McLaren was doing so well. What a shame, what a shame.
The end of lap 7 is Porsche, Mercedes, Subaru, Toyota, Genesis, who we're on board with now, and Honda, Volkswagen, McLaren, and Nissan in this group, just behind BMW, Lexus and Mazda, of course, after their first instant. Here are the 5-point standings. If the race finished now, Porsche will be champions from Mercedes AMG from Toyota.
Long race, though, Jack. This is we're not even a third of the way into this race yet. I think there's a lot of racing to be done here if it dries out.
Long way around, and Fraga now, I think, coming into the pits, he's had enough of his tyres.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. He needs to as well, because those wet tyres are not doing them any favours at all. We know that
they're going on to hard. They're going to dry, Jack.
Hard compound they go.
So they're going to be the first
that's a risk. That is such a risk, chap, because if you miss your braking at this track, like one little error on the curb, but this track's a nightmare for it. I'm telling you, that is a big risk.
How is the weather radar? It's gonna get dry, for sure. Please stand by. Maybe okay. I think I will do another lap and I go to pit for the hards.
So, an early call there for Team Toyota.
I don't know, that could be a brilliant move, and it could end up in death. This could be an instant death from one corner on a curb.
We're about to see Ferrero Rouge and Radiant for the first time. How's that car look? Big lift through there. You saw coming out of the pit lane there, the car wiggling, trying to put the power down on that slick compounder tyre. This slick compounder tyre,
the spray's not there now, though, chap. Look, there's not much spray.
So, staying on that lighter line that you can see on the racetrack, or the darker line, sorry, that is the dry line. You want to stay there. That's where the grip is. Now that the rain has stopped, that dry line is going to get wider and wider, and the hard tyre is probably going to be the tyre
so risky. This one little mistake and you're dead
before coming in for that hard compound of tyre. But we'll see. The other teams now will be keeping an eye on the sector times of Toyota.
See, that corner there is a nightmare.
It's Nikita Moisov now in the car for Team Toyota.
He's doing a good job here so far.
In the Supra, so we'll
but
have to see
he's
what
gained 7/10 over the Lexus, chap. He has gained 3/4 of a second on the Lexus. I've been watching the Delta. Keep an eye on the Delta through the corners. This is what's important.
It's all about paint codes in this weather, where the matte paint is effectively the drier part of the circuit, the darker part of the circuit.
He is gaining.
If it's on the shiny part,
it's slowly.
Paint, if you like, that's where there is no grip, and you'll see the drivers trying to go to the wetter part of the track, who are on the intermediate tyres, trying to keep them as cool as they possibly can. Let's see whether Porsche are going to retaliate and blink for their
I don't think Porsche will pit yet. You don't need to. Or will you? I don't know. Will they? Might.
Into the braking zone of the bus stop we go, and are they going to come into the pit stop?
No, not yet. They're gonna play it safer.
Mistake. Toyota's middle sector was one of the fastest, actually no, the fastest middle sector from
but it's too much of a risk. I would do it, but they've got a gap. There's no need to pit that early.
Going round another lap for the intermediates, I think, is probably the wrong idea. Genesis coming in for the hard tyre, as are McLaren at this point. Interestingly, Porsche, Mercedes and Subaru opting to try and play it safe, but I think Toyota here have played the best hand. they're going to be quick now.
They are flying too, but
as well. That's important. Getting your tires up and
I think Porsche will pick the next lap. They'll play it safe.
They've done that already. Now they'll be charging. I'll keep a very close
No,
eye on
Fragger's
that
still in the
sector.
car, I think, isn't he?
Sasaki in for Genesis. We ride on board with the Japanese
Or is
driver
it, did they switch drivers? I didn't see.
Cars emerging out of last source as they come through. You can see Mazda there just in the background there, of course, on the hard
There's
tyres.
the Toyota.
The hard tyres up to temperature though for them because they've already had a lap on them.
The problem here is overtaking, chat. Overtaking and going off the racing line.
As you said, Jimmy,
This is where you're going to get like incidents.
Staying on the intermediate tyres, not wanting to risk that too soon, but the track looking really very much like it is suitable for dry tyres. We know that.
Oh, he can't go off the line. Look.
Toyota. The thing is, for Toyota, they're in traffic, but for not for long because here they go up the inside of Genesis.
Good move.
And through into fourth place. Nice bit of clear air for them. That was crucial for their strategy.
Nice decisive move there. Yeah, they're having those turn up and champ really paying.
Let's keep an eye on the Delta now.
McLaren in the background there.
McLaren's binned it.
I think maybe got on the gas a bit too early. Massive moment, and off into the ground will go McLaren from what was a very strong position there. I think just caught out there, Tom, by the wet part of the circuit.
So Toyota have jumped Subaru. Toyota have jumped Subaru. The pit lane loss here. Toyota have jumped Subaru now. They're ahead of Subaru. They're actually, I think they're ahead of Mercedes, chat. I think Toyota are back in P2. I'm pretty sure Toyota are back in P2 now. That's the risk of pitting early.
You've got to keep it to the... Oh, and the thing is as well, he came back onto the track and I think got a bit of contact from some of the other cars. But that's what we were saying. When you've got that dry line and it's so narrow, if you go onto the wet part...
Yeah, Toyota are definitely in P2, chap.
Unfortunately for them now.
Toyota are P2. This is going to be close now with even...
into the car now. I can see one of the Mercedes.
Are they going to pit? Yeah, they're going to pit now.
The car for Benelli is going by Porsche into the pit lane. Our leaders comes into the pit lane to go onto what I assume will be the hard compound of tyres. Mercedes, I think, are going to probably follow them in the background. They do.
No. Oh yeah, they are.
Subaru there as well, ready
surely,
to change tyres.
Surely
now,
that's
still going onto that hard compound of tyre. Let's see if it was the right choice.
So we're a third of the way through this grand final for.
Surely that's Toyota into P2, but I don't know what fuel they've got.
Exactly what it is going to mean for Team Porsche to have waited another lap to come onto that harder compound of tyre. Mercedes and Subaru also following suit, of course.
Let's see, they're going to be about 3 seconds behind, are they?
Porsche, they will of course hold on to the race lead. We know that much, but they've got to get those tyres up to working temperature.
No, they're more than that, quite a bit behind the Porsche.
And more grip onto the circuit. Mazda and Volkswagen under investigation for colliding with another car. And Helena Stroza, I mean, if there's a man you want in the car
this is going to
try and push and
I want to see go back to the Toyota. Right, Toyota P3.
Gallo's been part of the Porsche manufacturing.
So no, they're in
P3,
but
very long time, as you say, Tom. He knows his car back to front. He's got that hard compound of tyre on now, the slick tyre. He will be just head down, blinkers on.
Who's in the Mercedes, chat? Who's in the Mercedes? Oh, that was dodgy.
Mazda kicking it with the 1080, still going round.
I think that was the Volkswagen's fault.
That's what happens when you touch the wet part of a circuit.
I think the Volkswagen pushed him over.
As did the VW, and unsurprisingly, Mazda.
Hang on, can we watch that again? I swear the Volkswagen blocked him.
Here from Subaru. Let's not have a repeat of what we saw last time around. Will they go for the inside?
I want to watch that again because it looked to me like the Volkswagen pushed him onto the wet.
They decided not to go for a move because we know it's incredibly slippery, as we just saw into the braking zone. It's Andrew Brooks who is was behind the wheel of the Mazda. Behind the wheel of the Genesis is Yuto Sasaki. Behind the wheel of the
Can we watch Toyota? They're half a second behind the Mercedes here. Why are we not watching the Toyota?
Subaru won it back in 2020.
Why are we not watching the Toyota?
Reclaim the crown in 2022.
There you go.
A tall order, as you can see there. Slight moment
for
Toyota. Subaru emerging from the pits. Let's see what happens here as they come down into Eau Rouge and Radion. And look at this decisive driving here from Nikita Moisov. Gets it done and passed onto the wet part of the track. Nicely done there.
Right, there you go.
Scary there, going onto that wet part of the circuit. And now, look, already on the back of Mercedes AMG. So getting those tyres sorted early was crucial for them. And this is crucial for Toyota as well. It moves them back up into a position where they will become the Manufacturers' Cup champions here. And they need to execute this properly. It's very hard to overtake. There's very much.
He'll wait for the main straight here.
Try and dive up the inside on the wet line
because that Supra will destroy the Mercedes.
Slow down. So patience here is what Nikita Moisov needs to employ behind the Mercedes AMG. And a little bit slow on the exit there, just runs into the back. You see, that's what happens. He just got onto that wet part of the track, no traction there, and then just almost got ran into by the AMG behind.
Shinsuke Sobi behind the wheel of the Mercedes, really trying his best at the moment, but Nikita Moisov has got great
surely
traction.
The Supra will just fly past that Mercedes here.
He's a bit too far away on this occasion, but if he can set himself up through the top of the circuit on the rise to the Kemmel Straight, this could be the opportunity that they're looking for. Slightly different in lines there. I think Sobi was a little bit wide through there, and that's allowing Moisov to close up as he comes into the slipstream, and on the rise of the Kemmel Straight, he's going to park it to the left-hand side of the circuit, and let's see whether this is going to be an easy move. I think it will be for Team Toyota, and Moisov, they go through up into second, and crucially back into the lead of the Manufacturers' Cup. If the checkered flag fell now, it would be Toyota who are crowned as the Manufacturers' Cup champions of 2022.
Can the Mercedes hang with the Supra?
On the wet line, but Toyota's had the straight line speed just so much they can just drive around there. But Genesis in play as well in the background in 4th place there. Porsche having a great race, it has to be said. 6.5 seconds clear of anyone at the moment. It wouldn't be good enough.
Porsche! They've spun into
Porsche's
the left
crashed.
of the mix, and the race leaders look like they've possibly thrown it all the way here. Angel Estrada, who was behind the wheel, we were singing his praises just a couple of laps ago, and whether he got onto the wet part of the circuit, I don't know. But from the race lead,
Toyota in the seat now, chat. What we need is a bit more rain at the end of this race, chat. We need a bit more rain to come. Right at the end.
That was strong. Oh my! So what happened? It was here at
he went too wide.
Just hits the white line and into the wall.
Damage as well.
Damage from that as well there. So, Angel, it's so easy to do. He's pushing the track just wasn't quite there yet. It's a real shame for Angel Estrada, but all you
what
can
we
do
want
now
is
get
like
your
a
head back
dilemma.
down,
They either stay out on the dries or they pit for wets. That's what we want.
In those lap times, you can see Benelli there. Things are getting a bit leery at the moment. Mercedes actually going backwards. What happened to Mercedes? They're falling 6
Did they get hit? I think Mercedes got hit by the Porsche, did they?
I wonder whether they may have got caught up in that incident there with Porsche, because of course all the field came round at a relatively similar sort of time. Genesis now elevating themselves up into second, so whether Mercedes were just innocent victims in the party, I don't quite know. Here you can see McLaren, meanwhile, ready to lose 9th place, quite possibly here to Volkswagen, who have had a challenging race here so far. Let's see whether they can defend that position into the bus stop chicane. We go, just holding firm for the time being. Under investigation are Porsche for driving dangerously post-incident, so that could be salt in the wound for Porsche, because Estrada may be set to pick up a penalty. We saw that, didn't we, in race 1, driving dangerously post-incident, and a penalty was awarded.
Yeah, the stewards are very hot in that. They don't like you rejoining in the silly way. It can cause other crashes. And basically
still not halfway here yet, chat.
It'll crash when they are innocent victims. So, Mercedes AMG
I don't know. I don't know what the question is.
Mercedes losing a bit of time.
Just answer it after the race.
Not quite got the
you get the answer there.
Rouge and Randy on there. The Subaru right up behind, almost pushing the car.
I haven't even seen what the question is.
From the Subaru, it's to
I just go on Twitter and see what the answer is, and then do it like that. It's easier.
This is difficult territory for the Subaru, because we know it's quicker, but it can't pull off lines still to go for the overtake. The dry line is getting wider and wider as the laps go on.
Porsche is the answer. There you go. Ray said Porsche is the answer.
There's just no way around it for me as owner in that Subaru.
Say the circuit was looking pretty clear overhead, but I have to say there's a few clouds just beginning to gather. I don't think there's anything too much to concern, but we know the weather radar in Gran Turismo can come in pretty fast, so let's keep an eye on that and just see whether those clouds do begin to come in.
Imagine it starts raining again.
I don't think there's anything, like I say, to worry about at the moment. We're very much under dry conditions. It's still very much a drying circuit, but just food for thought a little bit later on, perhaps, in this race. So here is Subaru then all over the rear wing of Mercedes AMG, just coming through Pouon then into the chicane we go, hard on the brakes into there, and just sitting in the wheel tracks of Mercedes. That's all they can do. If anything, they need to be the ones.
Yeah, so the commentators can pick up the clouds.
Dry line, how wide it is now. So
let's see this crash by Porsche.
So see, we just go
went onto the curb on the right there.
And we were a passenger into nothing
wet curb.
About that. What a shame.
How did he rejoin that? I wanted to see the rejoin.
No te puedo creer, no te puedo creer. No te puedo creer.
Did very well not to swear there, because I know what my vocabulary would have been full of after that.
Yeah.
It's only because it normally is anyway. Look at Subaru then all over the gearbox here on Mercedes coming in towards the bus stop chicane. Are they able to find their way through? A warning is given to Porsche then following driving dangerously post-incident. So thankfully it's not a penalty to just compound their woes, but they do still sit in third place, having got themselves back past Nissan, but they are now 5.6 seconds off the lead at the front. They have gifted this back to Toyota.
What a shame. I was really looking forward to seeing what Porsche could do here. They didn't fall far enough, though, to help out Toyota, to help out Subaru, to help out Mercedes. So they are still in this fight. And they're only 6 seconds off the lead. We do have still
Porsche was the lap one leader.
It's an endurance race, after all, so it isn't over until it's over.
I don't know. It looks still quite bright on track.
Again, who the hell knows at this point? But right now,
I mean, the sky looks bright, but I'd like to see the radar, really.
Line. As soon as you touch the darker line there, which is a wet part of the circuit, that's the tyre users losing pretty much all his grip. We saw what happened in Astroza.
Absolutely, you can see the Mercedes team there watching on. Baptiste Beauvoir, who will be in the car at the
hey, look at Genesis
race for their final stint.
Look at Genesis, chat.
Right now, look at this. 7 tenths of a second, 6 tenths of a second now behind Toto. I just saw
Genesis is flying in these conditions.
The wheel there, have a big moment down at Rivage there, just trying to gather the car back up again. So Genesis right now with the Sasaki at the wheel really is showing what this car can do, and he's gaining back in Toto hand over fist. I'm not sure where they are at the points at the moment, Genesis, so we'll have to wait till we get our points table flash at the moment. You can see Romero and Hell praying to the Gran Turismo gods for some good luck here. But they don't need it right now because just doing a great job. The car is fast.
The thing is, what the drivers want at this point is they want the race to stay as dry as possible, because they can just continue on this strategy. It won't disrupt their flow too much. As we said, if the weather does come in again, and we don't know what is going to happen, there is a possibility that will change. At the moment, it's in the pound seats here for
Genesis. The problem the Genesis have got is how does it overtake the Supra? Because the Supra is just so quick in 6th gear. As soon as it gets anywhere near 5th and 6th gear, it's pulling away. Even in slipstream, the Genesis can't do much. But then on the brakes, look how much better it is on the brakes.
Really good pace in these drying conditions.
They actually set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Sorry, so they're rocketing right now. So up in the toe of Team Toyota. We'll have a look at lap times when they come in, but definitely is something to gain on the Toyota in front. It's more in that middle sector, isn't it? That's
yeah, they're gonna. I think they're gonna need to pit again.
Another fastest lap of the race there for Team Genesis, and 4 tenths of a second quicker than the car in front.
I think that's all relative, because it's going to get faster as the circuit gets drier, isn't it? Really, but Genesis doing a.
They
really
all need to pit again, don't they?
Toyota did respond a little bit more on that lap last time around. Only 4 tenths of a second between the two, but still the gap. It's kind of beginning to stabilise now. So whether Moisov is just beginning to realise, actually I'm coming under a bit of pressure here and starting to pull the pin again, maybe turning his fuel mixture up to a bit higher of a limit. Look here at Nissan and Porsche, and Nissan are going to try and go past Porsche then. So Angel Stroza has already lost the race lead. He's going to be set to lose 3rd place here, and the Japanese manufacturer with Okamoto behind the wheel goes through and into 3rd place at the top of Lake Hume.
Go on, Nissan. It's been a while since they've been up in the top 3. A +8 on their grid position, so it's a hell of a race from the Nissan boys so far. Turbo Brick is still alive and well. You can't get rid of it. But yeah, that's going to be just disappointment big time there for Angel and Stroza, as Nissan gets slightly there through the right-hand Okamoto at the wheel of that Nissan at the moment. But yeah, I think the wind's out the sails there of Angel and Stroza from the Porsche. I think maybe it's just that slide didn't help as well in terms of tyre wear.
Well, Jimmy, just give us an insight of what it's like to drive in these conditions. Of course, we've had intermediate conditions now into a drying circuit.
Through the middle sector, the Genesis gains massively on the Toyota, but then as soon as you get to the straight, the Toyota just pulls away because it's just got so much more grunt in 5th and 6th gear.
But you can see the circuit, and the important part is dry, so you treat the car like it's a dry circuit. You push it into the corners hard, you keep the tyres warm as you go around, but you also have to have that little bit of caution when overtaking or when being overtaken, because you might, if you dip a wheel onto that the wet part of a circuit.
I think it's completely dry now, the track, isn't it? It looks completely dry to me, that. I don't think there's any wet part on the track now, really. It might be on the curbs, but it looks pretty much dry.
BMW's race going from bad to worse. They picked up some kind of a penalty down there in 12th place. Didn't see what that was, so presumably it must be
It's not a massive problem, though. They've got, like Nick, Todd. Like, Nick dominated races in the EU, so Nick is definitely capable of doing well in the Toyota.
5th place. Oh, how the tables have turned for them. Remember, a couple of years ago, they were, of course, the manufacturing champions back in 2020.
Yeah, I don't think the tyre wear is very high, though. On the racing hard tyres, 3 laps won't do much if it's not high tyre wear. It won't make much of a difference. Make a little bit, but not really noticeable.
But might have just been my imagination. We have been here for a couple of days now. Let's call it this. But
all you hear is tyre squeal after about 45 minutes these days.
Yeah, so we've got Honda and VW duking out for P7 at the moment. VW going to look around the outside. No, that's a sensible thing to do from here, because there is still some parts of the circuit. They're a little bit. Actually, no, it looks like the track is pretty much entirely dry now. Just a tiny little bit on the edge of the circuit, still wet as we go up towards the Les Combes here, the chicane. So will the VW going for a move here, coming into the right hand and not quite close enough there on the brakes there. It's quite far back for a move. They're side by side, been in contact there.
Dear.
Honda sent over the inside. Now it's wet out there. Be careful rejoining. Yet they're okay back on again. But yeah, a little bit aggressive there, I think.
The Boutelet doing a really good job actually of just giving back that position, not taking any prisoners there, but tries to immediately retaliate.
No, I don't. I think you might have to give that position back or get a penalty.
Eventually get themselves up into 7th place. I suppose you could argue that they, of course, would have had the momentum from driving the normal line, wouldn't they, going through there for Volkswagen? And do you remember back in 2008 when Lewis Hamilton got punished for something similar? He went off at the bus stop chicane going, I think it was past Felipe Massa, and then went back up the inside into the source, and the FIA went, oh, you can't do that because you carried more momentum by going off the track.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Basically, don't do naughty things.
Don't do things that make you.
The only parts of the track that are wet are where it's in the shade a bit, because obviously GT runs that weather system where if it's in the shade, it will take longer to dry out. That's the only part of the track that's really wet. Everywhere else is completely dry.
Horrible of a list saying that, by the way. The Toyota just drives away again in the straight line. It's really hard for the car to find a way through. So obviously that's part of manufacturers. The cars have different strengths and different weaknesses, and Sasaki is doing a fantastic job though of keeping anywhere near the Toyota in front. Of course, we do still have another driver and another stint yet to come. So really, if you're anywhere close to the Toyota, it still means that your teammate can fight for that win towards
2D trees.
So here we see Genesis then, the gap ebbing and flowing, it decreases down in the middle sector where that Genesis.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button on this stream. It's huge help for me. Thank you everyone who's already done it, by the way. Appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Into Eau Rouge Radio. We're now over half race distance. All the drivers have all made one pit stop, started on the intermediate tyres, bar Toyota, who were on the extreme wets. I have to say, this race has worked out quite nicely for them.
So you're halfway through. How long does that took us to get halfway through?
Who are leading the race. They are now all over the gearbox of Nissan for 3rd position. Let's see whether Angel Inestrosa can repay the favour on Okamoto as he comes up the rise of the Kemmel Straight. Okamoto,
nah, he won't have the straight line.
Porsche and Inestrosa not trying to do anything too rash as they come in towards the right and then the left. Maybe just trying to use the momentum for a latter part of this lap, but all the while they're kind of stuck behind. It is, again, just rubbing salt into the wound here for Team Porsche. What might have been for the German mark?
You miss it.
It can happen though. This is why endurance racing is all about consistency, just keeping the car on the road. We say as long as you stay out of the pit lane, as long as you stay out of the wall, that's fine.
It sounded like the Subaru was out of control then.
On the dry stuff in this case, in this these mixed conditions. You can see in the Stroza, he's pretty good in this mid-speed here. That MR layout of the Porsche.
I would have preferred it if they'd have used the WRX Subaru rather than the BRZ. I think the WRX would have been a better Group 3 car for the series. For this race, at least. It's a shame they weren't allowed to choose.
That looks to be pretty handy in a straight line. I mean, as you say, turbo grip. What is it you said? I'll never forget that line. Couple of months back, you said it's got the aerodynamic properties of a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah, it's something similar to that, but it's also got the grunt to match it, so it doesn't matter. But so yeah, coming out of Stapler 1, Stapler 2 there, just pulls away slightly, and you know that gap is enough that Inestrosa will not be able to have a lunge now down into the bus stop. So it's all about setting the move up here. Behind us, we have Mercedes AMG, only about 2 seconds behind us on board now with Inestrosa, so he's got to be wary of
I feel like this is going to rain again, you know. I have a feeling they would have programmed this in because you know what PD are like. They want a bit of drama. What lap do you reckon it's going to rain on, chat? I'm going to predict lap 24. I'm going to say lap 24 it's going to rain. What lap do you lot reckon? I've just got a feeling it's going to rain around like lap 24 or something.
If there is anything to be concerned about. You can see though here the battle for the race lead between Toyota and Genesis still reigns on. It again is ebbing and flowing, but Genesis not within any sort of meaningful distance. Yuto Sasaki trying his best to close.
You reckon on the last, on like the last 2 laps, that'd be interesting.
Talking point of the season, and that proves to be the case here as they come through Lake Coombe, into Lake Coombe again.
So what you need to look for when it's going to rain on this game chat is it'll go misty. So when it's going to rain, you'll notice it'll start going very misty on the track. That we've done loads of these dynamic weather races, and if it's going to rain, it goes very misty looking, like almost like a hazy mist on the screen, and then it will slowly get darker, and then that's normally a sign it's going to rain. It's normally that like weird misty, hazy mist that comes in.
See if we can get an update on the weather, because Julia, it looks like the times are changing up in the skies.
Yes, I don't want to worry anybody, but actually there's some pretty threatening looking cloud out there, so might be a good time to start thinking about that strategy, because yeah, it's not looking good up ahead, guys.
Weather radar looks okay down there for now, so you know, maybe Julia's just a doomsayer, I don't know, but the weather radar looks okay. But if there is anything coming, the guys will know about it. You can have that weather radar to be fairly far out. So, I mean, you see the heavy wet tyres, one of our available tyres here, it makes you wonder. It makes me wonder if something's coming or not. But
well, you can see visibly here, Jimmy, like the sheen on the cars just from looking at the circuit from this angle.
Oh yeah,
it's not as bright as it was. It almost looks like the cars are in a matte.
See that mist? See that mist in the trees? That's normally a sign that the weather's starting to change a little bit. It could be coming this rain here.
The necessary amount of pit stop that they have to. If they go and decide to pit and go on to the hard combat of tyres, and then the weather chucks it down, well, they're going to be out of sequence, and then they're going to have to make another pit stop and go back
2
to
years
their
as a
first
member,
driver,
mate, you legend. 2 years ago, I was wondering if I should get a member of the channel. Crazy guy went wrong, and it was worth every cent. Stay as you are. Ah, mate, lovely message. Thank you so much for that, mate. Thank you for 24 months of membership. Appreciate that message as well, Martin. Spam that legend emote chat. Give Martin an absolute massive shout out there. Thank you for the support for 2 years, Martin.
Don't get too tricky with your strategy. So just think about what's going on now.
This is really interesting. You can see it in the trees. See that mist? You see that mist developing? Now they'll have a really slow time of day on for this, so it could take like 6, 7, 8 laps, but it does look like it's going to possibly rain at the end. Could be interesting.
We saw Porsche leading and spinning. There's nothing to say this might not happen to Team Toyota.
Porsche is the answer for today's question. Porsche.
Yeah, there's a chance maybe there'll be some sort of contact there. Who knows? But still a long way left in the race to go.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity for things to change. Neil's still not at 2/3 distance. Here is Takuma Miyazono. You see him in the bottom left hand of your picture at the moment, currently piloting that Subaru. I have to say one thing: if the weather does begin to change, and as I say, it gets grayer and grayer the more we seem to be talking about it, that Subaru, I happen to know from talking to the drivers, very, very handy in the wet conditions.
Handy in the wet conditions, but also about 12, 13 seconds behind the leader. So,
windscreen wipers.
Wipers on already and off again. Do you reckon he's trying to bait us? I think he is, but maybe press the wrong button. I've done that a few times. Press the wrong button there, trying to get the car in. But
he won't know they're on, though, will he?
There's a little bit coming down now. We can't quite see it yet. Although we can see small drops of rain there, actually. So we are starting to get a little bit more rain here at Spa, and the drivers will know this already.
Right,
so
Smelly.
this is where it gets confusing for drivers and for strategies.
It's starting to get cloudy.
So team radio there starting to get
the wipers are automatic. They don't put them on. It's automatic.
And if the water gauge goes to 1/3, if you think that it's approaching 1/3, just go to the pit and we put the intermediates.
Okay. All right, so
Toyota are going to play it safe, aren't they?
For Toyota, they don't want to blink too soon.
Martin, €24 donation, chat again. Spam that legend emote for Martin, please. Enjoy one advent with your family. Ah, mate, what a legend you are. Thank you so much for that, chat. Give Martin another legend shout out there for the massive donation there. Appreciate it so much. Absolute legends. Thank you so much for the support, Martin. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much.
It's going to get tricky very quickly. So this is where experience comes into play. This is where knowing your car comes into play.
Yeah, if it goes anywhere near the 1/3 mark, the hard tyres will probably be struggling. Soft tyres can go a bit past the 3rd mark. So if you're on softs now, you could probably settle on you could drive it on the first marker, but with the hard tyres, it's probably the best thing to do is just pit on the 3rd marker. Look at the rain chat on the radar. It's not heavy though. It's not heavy. There's gaps in it.
Down at the moment, Lexus already coming in for the intermediate compound tires. I think it's a bit too early. We're not seeing any spray yet. You'd be surprised how long a slick can last in damp
right, that would put me off.
Keeping that temperature.
That would put me off. That.
Mercedes there, and
you know, if someone coming up to the screen like that, I'll be like,
stint of this car, which is going over and actually having a word in person with Sobi, who is driving that machine at the moment. So we're keen to see what's is going to play out here. This could be a bit of an opportunity for redemption for Team
you could
Porsche
risk this. It depends if them gaps in that weather are going to be like, and how hard the rain is. You could probably stay out maybe and risk it, but it all depends how heavy the rain is. So I reckon Mercedes are planning on going for a risky, you know. I wonder if Mercedes are going to stay out and try and see if they can survive it. I don't know. Interesting. Can they stay out? Don't they have to pit though?
Intermediate tyres very early, we might add as well.
They might have to pit actually for another driver, so
you don't want to do it too soon, because you don't need to be doing more pit stops than you need to, because if you go onto the intermediate tyres now, you burn them up and then they wear out, you're absolutely screwed. Whereas if you do it later,
it's only hard tyres available.
It's exactly the same thing. You need to time it right.
I'm getting my wheel out now before it all kicks off. I need another
some
wheel out.
manufacturers that perhaps have not had such a good race, but there's also such an opportunity to make a complete mess of it.
Fairly heavy rain now on the windscreen of the Porsche in front, so it's starting to come down heavy here at Spa-Francorchamps in our World Finals here in the Manufacturers Cup. Team Nissan in front at the moment.
Leaders are in, Jimmy.
There they are, Toyota in for the intermediates, as are Genesis, Nissan and Porsche coming in as well. So everyone decided to go into the intermediate compound of tyres, so there'll be a driver swap as well. Every time you come into the pits for a tyre swap, you do have to do a driver swap as well. That's in the regulations. And the top are coming in, Mercedes and Subaru going straight onto that wet compound of tyre, as are VW. So strategically, this is massive, because our current points leader is on a different tyre from their closest competitors behind. So this could be, again, a masterstroke from those on wet, or it could be horrible.
Well, if it's a deluge rather than a downpour, Mercedes, Subaru and Volkswagen are in the pound seats, because of course they've saved about 25 seconds by not making another pit stop. If it is only a downpour though, it's advantage to the top four as it stands. Everybody has now made their second and final stop in this race. Now all the drivers are either on the intermediates or the
I need another drink as well. Is it raining? Are they pitting? They're pitting.
From not only Mercedes but Subaru and Volkswagen as well. Could it not only change the complexion of this race, but the complexion of who becomes the Manufacturers Cup champions of 2022?
I need another drink, damn.
In this race so far, it has been Toyota who have reigned supreme, and I mean that
full wets. Toyota have gone intermediates.
Absolutely unbelievable in terms of their
this could be interesting.
They could be set to become 3 times Manufacturers Cup champions. However, if they've called the tyre strategy wrong and gone for the intermediates when there is a massive downpour,
I think personally it's probably going to be intermediates, but what Mercedes have done, because they're not in a chance of winning unless they take a risk.
I mean, at this point, it's really hard to call.
I personally think Mercedes have gone for a big risk just in case it does, because it could work out giving them the win, so they're just going for a long shot.
Information which is mostly accurate from.
They'll be slow. They will be slow if it's intermediates, but the thing is, if it rains, the intermediates will have to pit again. They won't have a choice. They'll have to pit again.
It's the right call, because, as Tom said, you might just burn it up. But meanwhile, Mercedes and Subaru, this is where Subaru said they're going to be strong on these difficult conditions with that downforce. It just means they're better braking, better turning, all that stuff. But they're stuck up behind Mercedes right now, and if they're going to make the most of these conditions, if it rains more, then they need to get by Mercedes and just get on with it, just have clean air. So right now you're standing with 10 laps to go. Toyota, Genesis, Nissan, and Nissan up 8 places from their grid slot. So thank you, Nissan, for showing you are actually the GOATs. And Porsche, after a big error there from Angelina Stroza on the middle stint, down to 4th from what was a comfortable
Mercedes nearly lost it there.
Sector times. Give you an idea of who's quicker right now. Unsurprisingly, it seems the intermediate runners are quicker than the full rep runners at the moment.
Look at this, Subaru versus Mercedes. Sorry to go in front of you there, Jimmy. Side by side they go. Subaru elevating themselves up to 5th place. So Mercedes and Baptiste Beauvoir struggling. Kilian Drumont and Subaru using the mechanical grip of that BRZ to try and take advantage.
Problem is, the Subaru is so slow.
It's not taking that one lying down. Side by side they go into La Source. Baptiste is trying
to the rain's going to pick up a bit here, but
as they come out of La Source, they're going to go Subaru 2x2 on the run down the hill and into
I don't think this is going to go wet, chat. I think this is Inters looking at that, but
now and holds firm into 5th place. And as they come up the rise onto the Kemmel Straight, will we see the Mercedes pulling away? And will we see the
it looks like Inters, doesn't it?
hampering that Subaru then? Let's see as we ride on board. Baptiste knows that, goes for the defensive line in the Mercedes. Subaru and Killian Drummond pull to the outside as we come into the braking zone of the Lecoultre chicane. Can Killian hold it around the outside? Let's see as he comes into the right-hander, then flicks it left. He can! Brilliant move there from Killian Drummond. Can Baptiste retaliate into the next right-hander of turn 7? He tries his best, but Drummond manages to get ahead and gets himself and Subaru.
If I was Mercedes, I would just let that go.
Really coming down now. You see Subaru taking a slightly wider.
It's getting heavier, that rain, isn't it?
Line was actually quicker than Baptiste both while on the traditional.
You can see the spray really picking up. Oh, look at that now. It's getting
here at Spa-Francorchamps, and you must be wondering if you're on that intermediate compound tyre, was that the right call?
I need to see the car telemetry. I want to see the car telemetry of how wet it is.
It's kind of even Stevens at the moment. I don't think there's too much in terms
No,
of
it's still intermediates. You can see it on the telemetry. It's still Inters. Look at the. You can see it on the telemetry then. So it's still on intermediates. It's still like there's quite a bit to go before it's full wets.
Position for Porsche here, because Porsche are right on their rear wing and a big slide there as well, coming through the pit path for Benny Hafidi, and it's going to drop them out of 3rd place. And now they're going to have to try and get themselves back past Porsche.
It's getting heavier though, isn't it?
At the wheel of the Porsche,
it's definitely getting heavier.
Behind this for the last few laps, they'll get a bit of a freebie here.
This could work out a brilliant move by Mercedes here, you know, chat. I'm starting to wonder if Mercedes and Subaru might have just nailed this.
Bring down this gap. It's 11 seconds to the lead, 10 seconds there to Genesis in front. It's going to be a massive arse there for the Spaniard.
Keep your eye on Subaru if they're catching this on, because if it's getting wetter, they're catching.
On the wet tire, they seem to be the one to watch at the moment, because they are on the
they're
right
catching.
tire.
Look,
in my opinion, if this rain continues, and it might well be that Subaru,
Subaru catching, chat.
Through the field. There's this out in front, so only about 2 seconds.
This could be very interesting.
Can Subaru claw back the gap?
Well, Volkswagen have dropped behind Honda.
But the problem is, though, it looks like it's going to stop racing, like raining, before the end of the race. If it does that, then Inters are going to come back again.
Really going to get close, and I have to say, in terms of the laps on here, Jimmy, it's looking pretty interesting here too.
Subaru, from what I can see there, were the second fastest on track after Porsche. So Porsche on the Inters, Subaru on the wets. Work that out.
Yeah, again, it's going to come down to when that crossover period comes. Again, the rain is coming down. You can see the wipers coming into it now, and also the standing water getting ever more present as these rain continues and the track gets ever wetter. So
really, all the wet drivers are what they want it to go heavy, don't they? Obviously, that's why they went for that risky strategy. The only way they could get a win here was by doing the strategy they've done.
Nissan on the intermediate tyres in 4th place at 2:29.8. There was some 1.4 seconds faster. And of course with Nissan, there's a possibility for that supermarket deal, 2 for the price of 1, because Porsche are right up ahead as well.
This is going to be an interesting one. 2 groups of cars coming together now, 2 different strategies. Subaru and Mercedes on the wet, Porsche and Nissan on the intermediates. They are being caught at the moment by this little second group. The top 3 at the moment seem to be sort of stuck from where they are. Genesis actually getting a cut track penalty there, I think, 0.5 second penalty. That put them slightly further behind Toyota. And if you're in the top 4, you're just hoping for no more rain, because these Inters are going to have a limit of how much water
I want to see another screenshot. I want to see like some camera footage of the actual telemetry,
pouring down here,
because it looks like it's close to full wets now, you know.
The thing is as well, also to consider, is the circuit's going to be changing corner by corner, lap after lap, isn't it? And it's going to be an ever-evolving thing for the drivers to have to contend with, but it is going to change the complexion of this race. The thing is, though, if you're Toyota, I mean, what have you got? Let's see, 11 seconds over Porsche and Genesis, there and thereabouts. What do you do in this set of circumstances? Do you just try and continue on, or do you come in for the wet tyres?
No, I think it's going to dry out.
Well, you can see, look at the circuit, you can see just a little bit of a drier line there, and actually Toyota opting to take the wetter line there. Out of the corner, but you want to try and stay on that. That's where the most grip is going to be at this point. This is what Shota's line through this right-hander here.
We're at the crossover point, Jimmy. Toyota last time around 234.2. Let's keep an eye out and see what the wet runners are going to be able to do. Yeah, Subaru 231.9. 3 seconds of a difference in lap times. And this is where the intermediates are going to be absolutely useless from now on if this rain continues.
Yeah, well spotted there. So Kokibun there, you see struggling big time actually for Arush, having to get out of the throttle there. Massive understeer. This
Go on, let's see the. I want to see the screen to see the tyres.
The finals here for the Manufacturers Cup. We're seeing now those intermediate tyres. The majority of the field have gone for a
Just want to see the tyre telemetry.
By the amount of water on circuit. So many Subaru, Mercedes, your Volkswagen, you're in the right position right now, and Subaru are catching hand over fist on Nissan. Almost a second now is the gap between the 2 seconds.
Oh, they're crawling. They're crawling on these Inters, chat.
And Mercedes is going with them. So we'll keep an eye on their other lap times. You can see there. If you're on a wet
the Genesis is coming back at the, as well, but there looks like.
Quicker than the intermediate runners.
Volkswagen also taking advantage of that wet tyre. They've just elevated themselves up into 7th ahead of Honda then. So good news for Volkswagen. Can they try and make some more forward progress in the closing stages of this race? 7 laps remain here at Spa-Francorchamps in the Manufacturers Cup Grand Finals, and it is all eyes on
look at the lap difference. I tell you what, Subaru and Mercedes could catch the Toyota up here, chap. They're gaining 3 seconds a lap. About 2.1 on that last lap.
Intermediate is stay out. If you pit now, you're going to be massively out.
There's no. That's what I mean. There's no point in anyone pitting now.
So you have to just stick with the tyre you have. And look now, Subaru 1.2 seconds behind Team Nissan. Now, last time I looked, that was 2 seconds. So they are on an absolute charge. In front of them, Team Porsche. So Subaru might be in contention for a podium here. Now, bear in mind, they were tied with Toyota going into the Manufacturers Cup. They lost a few points in round 1. All it takes is a small mistake from Toyota. In fact, I think if Subaru finish ahead of Toyota on the circuit, they would be champions.
I think you could be right, yeah. I'm just having a look at that, you know, because there's a possible opportunity here for Subaru to maybe, surprisingly, take back the crown. Look at this contest here between Volkswagen and Subaru. It's a revenge. And, yeah, well, I mean, a warning was given there that was under investigation. It's a bit of a slam dunker, unfortunately.
Sad. Sad if you're a Team Honda.
I tell you what, Subaru are only 10 seconds behind Toyota.
In your screen. Look at
and look how many they've got, 6 or 7 laps left, and they're gaining 2 seconds a lap.
Water at the moment. If you're on the intermediate, you touch that, you're going to have a very.
It all depends if they can get past on the straight though to the Nissan quickly.
Out of the equation at this point, so we won't pay too much attention to that. On board now with Team Subaru, you can hear the rain just smashing down on the windscreen on the metal.
Yeah, that's not Inters anymore, that chart.
Nissan does, but again, we're just struggling for that straight line speed. Let's have a look for Rouge and Randall now. This is where this car is going to be quicker compared to the Nissan. Still on board.
I want to see some onboard actual proper footage. Oh, there's a car.
Porsche off there. And the
don't hit the Subaru.
And Nissan slow. Subaru goes from
I tell you what, chap, this is going to go down to the white. This is going to. They're going to catch Toyota. Subaru and Mercedes. Oh, Mercedes has got a penalty.
0.5 second penalty as well. So now Subaru are right back in this.
I tell you what.
Only 4 seconds on the road.
Subaru are going to catch Toyota, chap.
Not work at all. They're starting to aquaplane. Just to give you an idea, last time around, 236.3
they're going to catch them.
For Toyota.
Look at the deltas.
Subaru at 233.5. They were 3 seconds faster. This race is Subaru's
oh my
to lose
God.
now at this point.
This is crazy.
There for Mercedes won't be helping their challenge on the wet tyres from 4th place. You can see the live points rankings. Subaru could not only win this race, but they could be in with a shout of winning the Manufacturers Cup here. It's double points on offer.
Mercedes as well look quick though. Look, Mercedes look quick in the wet. I know they've got half a second, but
creeping up, they could be set for the win in the Manufacturers Cup in 2022. What a
Porsche's gone wide.
Conclusion. This could be set to be.
Yeah, Subaru do need Mercedes to go with them, and that 0.5 second penalty is going to be tricky. And you can see there, even the wet compound tyre getting all out of shape for the exit of Lake Como. Team Subaru, Mercedes looking around the outside.
Mercedes shouldn't battle it. Don't battle it. You need to stay ahead of the Porsche.
Anyway.
That Porsche still looks quick though, chap.
Another second taken out of Genesis in front. The front 2 cars are really struggling right now.
The Porsche looks fast on the Inters though. This is so weird.
Give it a few laps and Subaru is going to be on the back of Genesis and Toyota.
Well, they are sliding like a dog on a polished floor coming through these corners. Just no grip out there at all.
Penalty though now. That's going to lose him position to the Porsche.
At the moment, and crucially for Jose Sorolik, he's doing a good job of sticking with
these
wet runners for the time being. There's that half-second penalty
No, he's not. He's not going to lose it. It's over. It's over the mark. Look at the tyres. You can see it there, bottom left. It's over. It's on the full wet, just about. It's on the verge of INTERS, though. That's.
He's got his gloves on. Toyota into the pit lane. Toyota into the pits. Coming in now for a set of wet tyres.
What are they doing?
They had the lead.
They should have done that ages ago.
I don't think so. I don't know if that's the right choice or not there from Team Toyota. Genesis go up into the lead. Subaru in.
No, actually, look at the weather radar. I think they had to.
Subaru are going to be champions. Why did they pit?
This is unbelievable.
They had to look at the radar. Did you see the radar then? It wasn't. The rain was getting worse. No, they had to pit, SDS. The rain was getting worse. Look at the radar when they pitted. It had rain all over it. They had to pit.
They were all set to become 3 times Manufacturers Cup champions.
They probably should have pitted before that, though.
The wrong strategy call. This is quite incredible. And look at this, Subaru, there you go. You can see it on your screen now. If it finishes as it is now, it will be Subaru crowned as Manufacturers Cup champions of 2022.
I mean, hang on a minute, though. They're not far behind.
To get back up to P3, which is the best they can do, I think.
If these fight now, Toyota could be back in this because Genesis are not giving this up. Look, I think Toyota did this right. I'm telling you now, chap. They'll have better tyres. It's too wet. They can't carry on INTERS. Look.
Intermediate compound, they're trying to defend, but they can't. The tyres just aren't there. Subaru, Mercedes there in the background too, pushing Subaru.
Oh no!
Mercedes up into P1. Subaru
oh my God!
Getting picked out the way by Team Mercedes. It's 4 cars.
That was a bit much. I don't know. That could be a penalty. Oh no! Mercedes are off.
Subaru goes through into the lead. Baptiste was chucked it all away into reverse. Can you believe it? As they come running down towards P1. He's managed to keep it facing in the right way, but still, he's got himself down into 4th place. He's now got more of a gap to climb than he had just a couple of corners ago. But goodness me, what a dramatic conclusion to the race this is going to be. And there's still 5 laps left.
We're seeing about 2-3 seconds.
Toyota are just there. Toyota have got fresher tyres as well, chap.
There's nothing left in that car. They're just struggling.
Look at Toyota. They're literally they're in the mirror. This is going to be quality. Go on, Fraga. I kind of want Fraga to take this back now, you know. Come on, Fraga.
Porsche and Genesis doing a good job keeping
yeah, Toyota are coming through. I spotted it coming through the long corner. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
On Toyota behind, they do need to come back through the field. They need to get up to third minimum.
This is absolutely brilliant.
We'll try and get some point standings based on that soon. I'll see if I can get our director to let us know the points, but it's
look at Toyota gaining.
This is really interesting. Toyota's gap between Nissan and themselves is 1.1 seconds.
Toyota are in this again. What that was a great strategy. I said it though. Looking at the radar, it was getting wetter. I don't know why the Genesis didn't pit as well, chap. The Genesis should have pitted also. Too late now. They left it too late.
Decided they want to chuck off those wet tyres. The win is out of the question there for them.
Look, there's Toyota.
Toyota in the background. They've elevated themselves up into P5. So I suppose.
And the Toyota can overtake on the straights here, chap. Subaru is at risk on the straights.
Because crucially,
5 laps to go. Let's go.
Nissan and Porsche come into the pits. It may be a saving grace. Let's have a look at turn 8 again.
Let's have a quick look at this. There's some Mercedes on the inside there. They've got it done. Baptiste both white in the lead, but I think he just gets on. Yeah, just
he got on the power.
Right there. Manages just about to keep it out of the wall, but that would have been a heart-in-mouth moment there for Baptiste both white, who's now up behind the Porsche of Jose Serrano. He's got the toe, he's got the drive through going. Baptiste both white back into 2nd position. The gap now, though, 2 seconds to Team Subaru in front, and the Subaru is where it wants to be. It's out front. There's no one in front of it. There are the live point standings in the race. Massive moment there for Baptiste both white. Couldn't get the car slowed down. He's over the runoff. He's given that. I think he's given the time back there, so it shouldn't be an issue. But massive moment there. He's been given a 1 second penalty.
Why a penalty?
That's a huge moment there.
I don't agree with that penalty. That's where the track limit penalties are bullshit on GT, chat. They shouldn't run track limit. They should let the stewards deal with track limit penalties rather than the game. The game that shouldn't. He lost time anyway with dirty tyres. Daft situation that. But Toyota now, chat. Look, Toyota P3 will be P3, and right on better tyres than Subaru. This is going to be. If Fraga drives this well, Fraga's got this.
Charging in the Toyota. We gave them grief. I didn't understand why they pit, but now they did. Igor is pushing that car to the absolute.
I told you when I saw that weather radar, I knew that Toyota would make the good call because you saw it on the bottom screen. It was raining, and they obviously knew.
The concentration there on the Brazilian's face. He knows what needs doing. Just very carefully threading the car through the corners, and they're already onto the back of Mercedes-AMG. Instead of a penalty, it's going to be up to B3 here, and then it's just Jose Serrano. Can Jose Serrano on the intermediate tyres hold off Igor Fraga?
I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. The thing is,
Rossetti is doing an unbelievable job, chat, on them intermediates.
Tracks on the moment. Look at the big moment there for Baptiste Beauvoir. That allows Toyota to go through and into third place. Beauvoir's had a couple of warning signs now.
No one's even mentioned this, but Jose is keeping that on the track.
Nissan life points rankings on your screen. It's still not enough for Toyota. They need P2 or better to become the champions of 2022. Their next target, though, thankfully for them, is going to be Team Porsche up the road in second, who are on the intermediate tyres and
looks like it's drying out a bit. It doesn't look like it's as heavy now, the rain as well.
But it's getting now to crunch time. It's 27.
I need to see the onboard footage. I want to see the telemetry again.
Jose Serrano last lap by Igor Fraga was 3 seconds quicker than Porsche and 2 seconds quicker.
It's on the verge of Inters now, chat. You can see it then. It's on the verge of Inters, so Inters might start coming back a bit. And looking at that, look, Porsche catching Subaru now. I think the Inters are coming back to the Porsche. This is crazy. Oh no, Porsche! Penalty.
Penalty for cutting the track there. Half-second penalty here for Jose Serrano and Team Porsche. Well, that is Christmas come early here for Igor Fraga, who needs 3 laps
he can't slow it down
to get himself ahead of Subaru to win the Manufacturers Cup of 2022. Through Lakin we go, into the right-hander of turn 7, on the run down into Rivage, and this is going to be an incredible end to this race. It is Subaru versus Toyota, with Porsche in the middle of that sandwich right now. And goodness me, what on earth is this going to look like when the checkered flag falls here?
I've got to give absolute massive credit to Jose Serrano. I know he's got a 0.5-second penalty there, but he's keeping that Porsche just about on the circuit with tyres that are not suited for these conditions. So you can just see it's a matter of time before Igor Fraga gets there. That 0.5-second penalty would definitely just assist him on the way by. Running P3 currently, we'll have to see what the point standings are once he's by, but it's only going to be a few more corners, I think. 0.5 seconds is the gap now. You can see behind, that's not a sight you want to see in the wet. Look at the difference in performance there under braking between the tyres. Just able to just drive
Baptiste though, chat, look at Baptiste.
With so much more confidence. You can see Eagle
Baptiste is catching up to Fraga on the older tyres.
To use the tyre better to effect.
So through the right-hander of Paul Frail.
Baptiste hasn't given up at all there.
Into the bus stop, I should say. And you can see there keeping a watching brief on
he drifted it. Oh my God.
Of Mercedes, we ride on board. I have to say, Jose Serrano, as you say, is doing a really good job. But look at him feathering the throttle. There's just no grip out there on the intermediate tyres. And Igor Fraga is going to go siding through into second.
That was the 0.5-second penalty there, served by Porsche. Igor now up into second. The gap 2.4 seconds, and there you go. Yeah, they will be tied on points. But because Subaru win this race, they will be the champions. So
they've got to get it 3 laps, chaps. Toyota have got to catch Subaru up in 3 laps.
First on track will be the Manufacturers Cup champions here in 2022.
It's winner takes all. Then you can see the graphic on your screen there now.
Fraga's got better tyres, Scott. Fraga's got fresh tyres, mate. Fraga's got the best tyres out of anyone on there. So Fraga, Toyota pitted very late, so they've got the best tyres on the track at the moment.
The third but last lap then here, and Igor Fraga has got the bit between his teeth. As I said, he needs the last few laps of his life here in this race. He doesn't need to start battling here with Jose Serrano. If he starts squabbling with him, that's his race over. That's Toyota's 3rd Manufacturers Cup title out of the window, and it will give the signal to Subaru and off there.
No, the Inters are giving up on that corner.
Nissan will go tumbling down the order, and goodness me, Porsche, and how on earth did Jose Serrano keep that in a straight line? See how tentatively Beauvoir is going on the brakes there, trying to get that car stopped. Doesn't want to repeat of what it was like on the last lap, and he's now all over the gearbox here of the 911.
Remember Salzburg time, there was Kylian Drumont versus Igor Fraga. It's Kylian Drumont versus Igor Fraga once more at the front of the field. The gap for the lead.
This is going to be intense. The last lap, look at that, 1.6 seconds. The Subaru's really good through the middle sector though.
But he's just sticking it on the racing line. Look at that weather radar. This rain is not going to relent. So here is
I think the Porsche screwed here, chap. I don't think the Porsche can do much.
Bat into the wall. That's a massive shunt.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge there for Team Nissan. And you can see that it has cost them dear indeed down into 6th place. But look at Mercedes then versus
The thing
Porsche.
is here, if Toyota get in the slipstream to the Subaru, the Supra is just going to fly past the BRZ. There's nothing it can do. But the problem is, though, for the Toyota is Subaru through the middle sector is rapid. There's nothing the Toyota can do to stay with it.
I have to say, though, Jimmy, the gap at the front, still 2 seconds, it's stabilising.
It's that middle sector, Tom. That middle sector, that Subaru is untouchable. When we get to the straights, we get to the third sector where we are now, we get to the first sector, and that Toyota is so strong. The straight line speed is massive, so just watch that gap, it will come back down again. But Baptiste just can't find a way by it. Jose is doing such a good job on those intermediate compound tires. Everybody else in the Inters is struggling massively, but somehow Jose is keeping the thing on circuit. And this
What a drive by Josetti here, chat. What a drive by Josetti.
For Baptiste and Mercedes AMG, he needs to get by, needs to get after Toyota and Subaru. He just can't do it. They're too quick in front.
You can see how late Baptiste can brake on those wet tyres. Genesis picking up a penalty there. Race, unfortunately, has come undone in the closing stages of this one. There's some 16.5 seconds off the back, and we thought they might be in contention for the win earlier on here. Sadly, it has not proven to be.
4 cars, an hour and a 30-lap race at Spa, chat, and we've got about 3 seconds between the top 3.
That car is strong.
Well, top 4, sorry.
The Subaru isn't. It doesn't have
crazy.
So 1.7 seconds right now as we come onto the penultimate lap, coming down.
And this is why I always say, chat, I love ACC, I love iRacing, but as a watching spectacle, nothing beats Gran Turismo, nothing.
Just about managing to hold on to the car there. Subaru again using the downforce that comes to that car to get through. Rouge ran on a bit quicker than the cars behind. We're now looking at Mercedes AMG.
I'd got the inside here.
Closer and closer to the
Do the fake, do a fake.
See just how wet it is. Baptiste Mode 1 looks to the outside. Oh, contact between the two there. Very messy, but I think I'd say Jose came over a little bit there.
Yeah, you could argue that, couldn't you? And thankfully, no harm done.
Yeah, I think Killian's got it, chap. I don't think the Toyota can keep up through the middle sector. I think Killian's got this.
Of course, it would prove to be the difference between third in the standings here between Porsche and Mercedes as well. If I know, actually, AMG would still get third place in the standings if it finishes as it is. So it doesn't really matter in that respect. But of course, they want to finish third and to get a podium in this race.
Just a reminder, if the race finishes as it is right now, Subaru will be your Manufacturers Cup champions. They will tie on points with Toyota, 40 points apiece. If Toyota can get by, they will be champions. It's as simple as that. But I say the charge is starting to fade a little bit from Igor.
Toyota should have pitted earlier when they had that gap more. Oh, Subaru's a bit wide. I really feel like Toyota's mistake was waiting that long to pit. They could have done it earlier. They had the gap to do it earlier.
Can he catch Kylian Drummond in the Subaru?
I said about that Subaru earlier on, I said it was really quick in the wet conditions. The mechanical grip of that BRZ really is impressive.
I personally think Frager's giving it everything right now. Anyway, I don't think he can give it anymore. He's literally pushing 100%. The problem is he's got Killian, who is rapid in the Subaru. And here, look at the get in the slipstream. Get in the he's in the slip, chat. He's in it. He's in the slipstream. This could be close.
Manufacturers Cup Brown in 2022.
Oh,
you can see the points
God,
on the left-hand side of your screen. That's what's awarded. Double points
go on
over here.
Go on, Fragger. Go on.
Into the bus stop for the penultimate time. Here comes Mercedes on the inside of Porsche into the bus stop there. Baptiste trying to think about a move, but again, not too close. Not close enough to
the traction, though. Look at the traction out of that corner. The Subaru gets too much traction.
A bit closer in that Toyota. He's much closer than he was.
If he gets a slip, he might be. He's got to hang with him through the middle sector, and then it's the last corner. He's got to go for the move on the last corner here, because if he can get the slipstream here, no, he's lost it. He's lost the slip. He'll get it back at the top of the hill, probably. No, he's in it. He's back in. Right, watch the gains. The only thing is he won't gain through this part because it's wet. He'll lose a bit there. So you see, he loses 2 tenths instantly through that section. He's not going. He can't get close enough.
Well, goodness me, you can cut the tension with a
cricket. Oh, aquaplaning.
That's going to be their charge for the podium overall.
Aquaplanes.
Absolutely done and dusted. Well, Jose Serrano, he tried as hard as he could. Thankfully, he managed to keep
held it though.
In the right direction.
Josetti held that aquaplane. Watch. I'm pretty sure he held it.
It's going to be 4th that will be their result. A big slide there for Drummond out of turn 7. goodness me, but the gap still sits at 1.8 seconds. What an amazing race this has proven to be. What a brilliant display of driving from our top two, especially as well.
Brilliant drive by Killian.
Still half a lap to go. We know these conditions can catch people out.
It's getting really wet though. It actually looks like it's wetter.
This is where Killian just needs to keep it nice and neat and tidy, and he should be good. We're on board with Igor Fraga. There's not much more he can do through here. The Toyota just doesn't quite have the speed through that middle sector compared to the car in front. It's been a valiant effort from Toyota. I thought they threw everything away, but they did have to come in for the tyres. He came back through the field. He almost caught Subaru, but it's looking like it's not going to happen.
So wet, isn't it? It's absolutely pissing down on track.
There's been a valiant effort from them to try.
I have a feeling that Porsche might struggle on the Inters here.
What might have been had they not had to make that third
I think they'll just be like getting it home for there. There's no chance of them doing much there.
Managed to call the strategy right, but if buts and maybes are not going to end the story, and it is going to be Subaru who come through in the lead through the final series of corners. You can see their live points rankings. It would be a tie, but as we know, the champion is decided on this grand final result. And as Subaru would
Subaru have got it, chat. Subaru.
Toyota, they will
Nothing.
Take
The Subaru is just too quick through the middle sector.
From home. What a brilliant race this has been in the Manufacturers Cup. We have had changeable weather.
I still think that Toyota pitted too late. I think they should have went in like when they were getting caught up. They should have pitted 2 laps earlier.
For Team Subaru, it is going to be.
They lost too much time staying out on the Inters.
Who become Manufacturers Cup champions of 2022. It's their
What a drive by Killian, chat. What a drive by Killian.
Winning again this year. What an amazing end to the race for Team
Insane
Subaru.
drive by Killian,
All
that.
of the odds, and those 3 drivers are on top of the world here in Monaco.
Baptiste Beauvoir there, just inconsolable, but at the other end of the spectrum here are Team Subaru. Dumont, Miyazono and Danny Solis, an awesome performance by them. Just called the strategy right there, had the car underneath them, dealt with the pressure from a charging Igor Fraga and Team Toyota to take. Oh, and they're down! They're down, Tom! They're down!
Well, they had to have an incident in there at some point, and thankfully it came off the checkered flag. Penny for the thoughts of Ryota Kokkerman, of Igor Fraga, and of Nikita Moisov. A valiant effort it was from those 3 drivers. They tried as hard as they could. But
good stuff though. Good stuff, that chat. That was brilliant. That was a brilliant race.
Subaru with a brilliant drive from Killian Drummond and Danny Solis. Takuma Miyazono sadly was not able to be there, but he is able to enjoy all of the glory here tonight and play a crucial role in their success story for them to become the champions.
Love to see it there, just handshakes at the end there. Great sportsmanship between
Yeah,
our competitors.
I didn't vote, but I didn't have time to vote for it. It's too late. So.
Place to go. You know what, mate? Well done. You had the best of us today.
Good racing, though. Good racing.
They made an extra pit stop and were only 2 seconds behind at the end. Really good run by them.
Absolutely incredible. Great to see everybody.
You got the predictions wrong, guys, so don't worry about it, mate.
Solis as well. I know we've spoken
about that made up. Do you know what? That one race there has made up for a lot of the shit that we've seen so far. There has been some terrible driving, but that was really good at the end there. Brilliant stuff.
Of the race, it was Porsche who led the way. It was a risky strategy from Team Toyota. They started on the extreme wet tyres, and they, I have to say, had it all
thank
to
you,
do.
Keith. I'm glad you enjoyed watching it in here. We can do it again tomorrow, maybe.
The wrong way after
do you want to? What time does the nation start tomorrow, chat? Make sure if you're interested in watching it in here, if you haven't already subbed to the channel, sub. And we might do the same tomorrow then, and then we'll test the daily races out after it.
I will do another lap and I go to pit for the turns.
Into the pit lane then came Team Toyota, eventually getting off of those wet tyres at a normal stage. Great drive from
Yeah,
Igor
but the
Fraga,
racing made up for it, someone. You're saying that race wasn't entertaining to watch, though. What I'm saying is the race was entertaining to watch, though. It had some terrible driving in, but it was entertaining to watch, though. So, I mean, real life had some terrible driving, but it was still fun to watch. So, I don't know why you're saying what you're talking about, because I enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, that's up to you, but I thoroughly enjoyed this race. If you didn't, nothing I can say about that, mate. That's up to you. But I think it was entertaining, that race.
A big moment on the curb, on the wet part of the track. Their lead was lost. It was Toyota with the advantage at 2/3 distance.
Wait, I think, I don't know.
Pit?
Yeah, pit.
I think it will rain for the rest of the race. We go full wet.
Yeah.
It was that choice in the end that pretty much won Toyota this championship. I think it's going to rain.
Subaru, not
Let's go
Toyota.
full wet round the outside here of Team Mercedes, making it look easy in that Subaru. And then from there, it was just a matter of trying to keep the car on the
I would
straight
say,
and narrow.
yeah, there was some bad driving in that. Don't get me wrong, but the end was so exciting. The end of that was super exciting, chat.
Thank you very much.
I enjoyed
Brilliant
it.
go, but it just shows you how treacherous conditions were if you weren't on that right tyre.
You can see it was really treacherous when you weren't on the right tyre. Massive moments there. Toyota eventually had to throw the towel on lap 25. They went for the Inters for their final stint.
They pitted too late. That was their problem, Toyota. They needed to do it lap 23, really.
Baptiste Beauvoir briefly led for a corner and then threw it all the way at the very next opportunity.
Gerjo, thank you for the 449. Cheers for the stream, bro. It was really enjoyable. We'll be good to do this again. Yeah, we'll watch it again tomorrow. I'll go to the gym nice and early, and we'll watch the Nations race, and then we'll do some practice of next week's daily races. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow, 100%. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I have to say, I enjoyed it with the chat as well. I much prefer doing it in our stream than dealing with a lot of the people that you see in the other. Like, I can only imagine all the trolling that was going on in the other stream. So yeah, much more enjoyable experience in here. So yeah, I enjoyed watching this with you lot. It was brilliant. Spam that legend emote for Gerjo, please. Thank you so much for the support, mate. Appreciate that. Josetti was for me unreal. Keep that car on Inters on the track, like unreal job.
You might be right. Team Subaru then take top honours not only in the
And I
race,
mean, he
but
only
in
finished
the Manufacturers
like
Cup Championship
he actually
standings
probably
at the end of that
had the
one-team
pace,
Toyota.
but he just
Was
kept
about
making the odd
himself, and
mistake
they
because of his
tried as hard as
tyres.
they could, they
But his
finished
pace
second
was there,
best.
even on the
Mercedes
Inters,
going
which is
home in third place
crazy.
in that race. Team Porsche, well, they'll be disappointed with that one. Unfortunately for Team Genesis as well, it all came undone despite.
Yeah, if Toyota would have started on the Inters and then went to the full wets, like after the dry stint, I think Toyota would have had that. But they started on the wets. They basically did a lot of wrong strategy calls, but still got there at the end to P2. So good event though. That last race, brilliant stuff.
Who are champions of the world in the Manufacturers Cup. Let's head down, shall we, and get the live reaction from our Manufacturers Cup champions. Kylian Drummond, Danny Solis, Takuma Miyazono are down and talking to Julia.
Yeah, if Porsche didn't make that mistake, they would have won the race.
I guess.
But I don't think they would have won overall, though.
Which is incredibly British of me, but how was the weather?
The weather is very...
That was crazy, though.
It's perfect control, you know, like the same way life, so it's very complicated to pre-road the weather, so yeah.
How was it anticipating? Like, because obviously you sort of knew that maybe there would be something. So what were you thinking? What were you thinking in terms of strategy?
For start of the race, he did the intermediates or the middle, the hard, because the rain is away, and the rain is again incoming. So I say heavy weight. I think is a good strategy because on the race you didn't put the full weight tires. So for the race, it's mandatory to put that. So.
Yeah, that's right, Stu. Like Toyota probably had, but then
Danny,
what
hi,
if they had a lot?
How
Wouldn't
are
it have
you?
been safer to go onto the full wets at that pit stop?
Excited.
If they didn't, you know, if they're in a good position, might have been safer to do it if you think about it. But I don't know. It's hard.
I'm really happy about
they
that.
saw the radar.
It
We
felt a
couldn't
little
see the
hollow back
radar
then,
in here. So
to be here now is
at the end of the day,
What's it like being in the room? Like,
if you have the radar information, I don't know what they had in terms of
I
that.
don't know. Usually I'm super nervous beforehand, but when I get in the seat, it's just full focus mode, and it seems to go okay. So.
Casually awesome. I mean, it's fine. It's totally fine. And Takuma, how was that for you? That was quite intense having that weather this time. How did you find it?
今回の天候変化かなり厳しい状況だったと思いますけど、どうですか？
はい、僕は途中で1回スピンしてしまってちょっと10秒ぐらいロスしてしまったので本当に何も言うことができないんですけど、結果的に本当にダニエルとキリアンに助けてもらってこうやってチャンピオン取れたので本当に2人のおかげだというふうに思います。
Yeah, you know, I made the mistake of spinning in anger and lost 10 seconds. So, you know, I don't have anything to say, but Killian and Daniel really saved the day and, really helped us win. So I'm really thankful to them.
But this is what it comes down to. It's teamwork, right? It's not any one person. It's, it's all together as a team, yeah?
ぱり一人だけじゃなくてチームワークが全てだっていうのが、まあ、よくわかる戦いですよね。
So I would also say that because obviously, you know, winning the Manufacturers Cup, you know that it means you have to be the first people into the dancing circle pit on Sunday night, right?
日曜日にダンスのサークルに1位でまず飛び込まないといけないので、それを覚悟してくださいと。
Yeah, they've all given up arguing with me about it now. They just give
I
up.
think Baptist is always up there in my opinion as well, Joe.
I just want to say,
I wouldn't put Solis in the ultimate team. Not being disrespectful to him, he's a great driver, but I don't think Solis has got the pace of Baptist, Fraga, and Killian. Good driver, but I don't think he's got their pace.
Right, keep it together, keep it together. Okay, amazing.
I would probably say like Baptist as well. Baptist is an absolute monster on this game.
Double Manufacturers Cup champions. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that because there was so much going on in that race. I physically am exhausted. I dread to think what the drivers must be like.
I mean, it was interesting hearing what Daniel Solis said there about, like, this is now in person. It feels like a proper, real victory, this. And I really hope that Miyazona doesn't sort of punish himself too much for his mistake. I mean, as Julia rightly said, it is teamwork. You need 3 drivers to get to the end of the race. They had 3 drivers, and between them, they won that thing. So, yeah, amazing. Also, Drummond to withstand that pressure from Fraga. I mean, Fraga's been around forever and ever. So to have him harrying you for the last few laps,
forgot about Subaru crashing as well.
Like stride is amazing.
Yeah,
really well done.
Let's be fair. Killian, of course, is incredibly young. I think he's 18, 19, something along the lines of that. You know, one of the youngest competitors we've got. So to get, as you say, somebody like Igor Fraga, who's been, you know, here since last century.
Eagle's an old man.
He is, he does, yeah. He's got a walking stick in his bus parts, doesn't he, to be honest with you. Anyway, on the other side, though, if you are Team Toyota...
Yeah, tomorrow should be interesting for the nations.
Be after that one? I mean, you
should be a good one.
Didn't you?
I mean, it was a really tricky situation. I mean, the rain's coming down. You have to try and guess, is it going to be wet for the entire race? Is it going to be a little shower? They went for the latter, and it just didn't work out for them. And, I did sort of chastise their decision to change tyres, but it turned out to be correct. You saw the other intermediate runners just couldn't keep it on the road. And he almost got there. But just not quite.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Mercedes as well, of course, they managed to bag 3rd overall in the standings, so they do finish P3 in the Manufacturers Cup in 2022. Do you think, I mean, we saw Baptiste at the end of that, he looked physically and emotionally drained.
I think he was just annoyed. I mean, like, I think that, he took the lead. He could have won that race, and that could have swung the results around, but that one mistake
he made,
really
he got onto the curb, didn't he?
He's a very reflective person. He's someone that's been on the podium quite a lot here in these events, and often with Mercedes. So I think he's hoping for that manufacturer's win at some point, but unfortunately not today for Mercedes.
And also for Team Porsche, again, on the other side of the coin. I mean, they were, let's be fair, a shoe-in for the victory. And again, a simple mistake from Inestrosa, completely not intentional, not his fault. I get that, onto the curb, wet part of the track, it happens. It's one of those things, but it did cost them not only a chance of victory, but also a chance of the overall podium.
Just go show
Cage. What a legend, chat. Big thumbs up and legend out there for Cage for the gifted membership. Thank you so much for that, Cage. Appreciate the support there, legend.
That's what I love about this being in person, because obviously we've done it remotely for such a long time.
Absolute legend. Thank you for all the support today, everyone, while we've been doing this. I appreciate all the support watching this. It's been amazing. Very, very grateful for you lot. Absolute legends in the chat.
It all just fell over, but yeah, an awesome moment there. I mean, this has been the first...
I think people forget how young Will is. Like, Will Murdoch as well. He's only 18, isn't he?
And they're contrasting the
Will's really fast as well.
Super upset, and again, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. Reflective, and I think he knows that it's on him.
Thank you for 2 months as a member of the channel, mate. Again, another thumbs up and legend. I'm over there for Don as well, please, chat.
I think for me,
thank you so much, Don.
It was probably Killian at the end there to get back through the field, to take advantage of the time, and he didn't just magically appear in first place. He had to go and earn it, so he fought for that place and then just pulled away from at the end there. So I think Killian Drummond for that drive just magnifique.
And of course, some of these drivers
Killian did faultless, wasn't it, pretty much?
Nations Cup here tomorrow as well. The thing is, that's a very different...
So it was almost a faultless drive by Killian, that.
I tend to find. We've had some aggression here today and over the last couple of days, but Nations Cup tomorrow, I think it's the crescendo of our weekend. I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much for that, Don, mate.
Really is. Well, let's say huge congratulations to Team Subaru, to Team Toyota, and to Team Mercedes-AMG for, of course, becoming those top 3 finishers. We're not far away from the podium celebrations here, and I have to say, if it's anything like what we had last time when we were in Salzburg, it's going to be a bit of a cracker.
Yeah, you have to be 18 plus to to go to the actual live events.
Yeah.
These guys
obviously, I think it's to do with
they have to be careful as well because last time
traveling and stuff like that, and also laws and stuff. Different countries have different laws and stuff. So yeah, you have to be 18 for this one.
Coming down. It's like, oh, this is great. And they were like, oh, hang on a minute. There's a brief moment of panic, but hopefully, I'm sure that will not happen tonight. But we are now ready for the podium ceremony here for the Manufacturers Cup for the GT World Series.
Yeah, it's for all expenses paid in like 5-star hotel when they're there, Chris. They get all their all-inclusive, all their drinks, all their whatever. And normally they do get to normally they get like given the TGT and stuff like that if they haven't got one and stuff like that. They get it sent to them when they get home and stuff like that. So yeah, they do normally get given stuff, but they don't get any prizes. Gran Turismo is one of the only esports stuff that you basically win bugger all. You don't win anything. Like that's the only thing I think that could do with changing, really. But yeah, at the moment there's no prizes. Like there used to be the watches they'd win. They used to win a watch, like a Tag watch, but then Tag pulled out. Everything's covered when they're there, Chris. They get everything covered when they're there. Joker, thank you for the $2. Smash that like button. But exactly, get that like button. Get it hit. Smash it. You get to be an in-game character.
Anthem for the winning manufacturer of Japan.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they get because didn't Fire say a while ago they do get something? There is some drivers that do get money, but they're not allowed to say what they get. Apparently, I don't know. That's what Fire said. Anyway, they do get something, but they're just not allowed to say what. They race with the TGT because apparently there's well, you know the issue that I get when I'm racing when I have to pause it and I unpause it because the wheel weight changes. A lot of the drivers have came across that same issue that I've had, and if it happened in a live event, it could be the difference between crashing or losing a position. So they play it safe apparently. That's the main reason. That's what I got told anyway, with the wheel weight change that I get quite a lot. But to fix it, all you do is press start. So I just wait until I'm on a straight. You can still drive through the corners with the wheel weight. It just feels a bit weird. And then get on a straight, press pause, unpause it. You don't really lose anything. It only happens every now and then, though. It's not very often it happens. Yeah, the TGT is broken twice in this event. So the TGT has issues as well. I honestly think the Gran Turismo's got a lot of work still to do with the game as a whole. I think the game's got a lot of, you know, there's a lot of issues still. Following in turbulent air is horrible. The BOP's still a bit broken. There's a lot of bugs that they need to get sorted. Like lobbies, we've experienced quite a lot of buggies in the latest update. A lot of bugs in the latest update, so hopefully they can get them sorted as well over the next few months.
The Chief Marketing Officer of Brembo.
David Double D 72, thank you for the £10 through PayPal, you legend. Fanatec needs to get their stuff together so they can get the advertising they want for these events. Yeah, I don't think it's Fanatec, in all honesty, David. I don't think it's a Fanatec issue. I don't think it is, because I haven't experienced these issues of wheel weight on ACC or other games. It's only on GT, and it happened on GT Sport as well. So I think it's a Gran Turismo issue, to be honest, mate. I don't think it's a Fanatec issue. I feel like it's something to do with the game. But yeah, thank you so much for the £10 through PayPal, David. Smash that legend vote for David, please. Thank you for all your support on the channel, David. You're an absolute legend, mate. I hope you enjoy your inverted V3 as well. I'm looking forward to hearing your opinion on them. Yeah, my PayPal link's in the description. So if you can look on it'll say Streamlabs. That's through PayPal. The Streamlabs, it says if you want to support through PayPal, the link's there. It's through Streamlabs. Or the reason it has to go through Streamlabs is because it notifies my Streamlabs. Otherwise, it won't tell me you've donated. So yeah, I get pretty much everything from that. So for example, off that there, David's £10, I get like £9 66. I think 30p goes as a thing
honestly,
to
that was-
PayPal or something like that.
We would be here at Gran Turismo
But yeah, I pretty much get it all through PayPal. Thank you so much for that, by the way, David.
Here we are.
I was disappointed you didn't do a fast show thing with the weather map.
Scorchio,
Claudio, all of that.
I thought you'd think that, yeah. Though it was amazing that all of a sudden just everything that we know about the Manufacturers Cup just totally turned on its head.
It's what I like about endurance racing, you know, that nothing is set in stone, especially the weather. It's great to see that addition now in these events as well. And
3D
was
mix,
the
man. I know, yeah, I
deciding
thought Ghost.
factor of this race, those who called it right. Subaru,
Oh,
they won the
dear.
whole thing. Toyota got it wrong, second.
I mean, though, it's still super close, even with the sort of the tyre strategy not being perfect. It was, what was it down to right at the end about? Like, was it 1.5? Just, it was close, right?
2 seconds.
Well, you have to wonder what would have been, though. I mean, if Toyota had got the strategy call right in the first place, you wouldn't have seen them for, you know,
Yeah,
for dust.
There you go. So plan
yeah,
for
it's
the
a bit
weather.
late,
And
isn't
we're
it?
British, so we always plan.
There's not really
for
much point me
every
doing
kind of
lobbies
weather
chat because I'd have to
because we
finish
can't
within like
decide.
30, 40 minutes.
Maybe,
So
don't forget to
tomorrow
vote for
night
your
we'll stream after
Michelin
the
driver
nations
of
because
the
we can do a
day. Look
longer
at
stream
these
tomorrow night.
handsome chaps. Go on there, vote for the driver of the day.
So what we'll
and
do
we will
is
announce it,
tomorrow night we're
There's
going to
some
watch the
amazing
nations.
driving
I'll go
today, to be honest.
live.
It's very hard to pick.
If I can go live before the nation starts, we might do some racing, fun racing before it.
You don't get a vote.
If depending on when I've like got like been in the gym and got, I need to wash my car tomorrow though. It hasn't been washed in a few weeks. So I'll see what times like if I've got time to go do a like lobby racing before the nation starts tomorrow. We will do that tomorrow, and then watch the nations again like this together, and then we'll do some daily race practice after. If not, it'll just be nations, watch the nations, and then we'll practice daily races tomorrow night. Bahamas! Hello, mate, you legend. Thank you for the £3 free PayPal again, you legend.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for hosting today's race. No worries, mate. I enjoyed it. I have to say, I had a much more enjoyable time watching it with you lot like this than I did ever going into any of them other chats.
I don't know if I'm ready. It's been spicy too much.
I think this was a more enjoyable experience for me, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
We'll do it every time they do these now. Why not? I think we should do, because all the other people are doing it and nothing happened to them, so we'll do it. But thank you so much for that, Bahamas, mate. Appreciate the £3 through PayPal, you legend. Spam that legend emote there for Bahamas, everyone. Appreciate it, mate. But that is it, I think, for that, isn't it? That was a good, fun stream. Good fun watching them race. Have you noticed how Baptist he races very tense, doesn't he? He's all like tensed up when he races. He proper like gets into it. He's almost as good at... All we need him to do now is do the key lean, and he'll be there. Well, that is it, chat. Had a fun little stream there. I've got to pick the missus up in a bit, so I will see you tomorrow. I'll get it set up, and then if I can get my car washed and be at the gym early, we might be able to do a bit of lobby racing before we watch the nations. If not, it'll be nations, and then we'll do the daily race practice. So yeah, thank you so much for all coming into the stream and watching in our channel. I am very grateful for you coming into this and watching here rather than other places. That's brilliant that you've done that. So hopefully the same tomorrow. Feel free to jump in tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on your way out. And thank you again for all the insane support in the stream. I'm so grateful for you lot donating and stuff like that during the stream. It's brilliant. I wasn't even racing and you supported me. Bunch of legends. So big thumbs up to you all. Smash that legend emote for everyone in the stream, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow for more streaming. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.